ET reported that 2 stray missiles had hit. Russia denies its missiles landing in Poland. The reports in Poland blamed for a sudden drop on Wall Street, though the Dow has since rebounded and is now back up more than 100 points. A judge in Georgia blocks the state's abortion law, ruling it was unconstitutional when it passed.
Georgia's abortion law bans the procedure after fetal cardiac activity is detected, typically around 6 weeks. Advocacy groups and doctors sued, arguing the law signed by Governor Brian Kemp in 2019 violated privacy and liberty rights contained in the state constitution, but also that it violated the U.S. Constitution. After the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe, a federal appeals court said the state law could be enacted. But now, Fulton County State Judge Robert McBurney has ruled that Roe was still in place in 2019, and so this law did violate the U.S. Constitution.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The state attorney general can appeal. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy clearing the first major hurdle to becoming House Speaker if Republicans take control of the House. McCarthy clearing the secret ballot in a House GOP caucus meeting today. He would need a simple majority in the full House when the new Congress convenes in January. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He robbed a sandwich shop at a pet store. Cloudy, 39 degrees downtown. Radar mostly clear in Indy, but there is some rain to the far west of the state. Low of 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Indy Metro Police have arrested a man they say robbed 2 stores. Parker Carlson reports.
The first robbery happened October 24th, where a man covered in face tattoos pulled out a gun and robbed a store on Washington Street. Before the police could arrive, he was already gone. Police believe the same man to be responsible for another robbery a week later at the shopping center next to Washington Square Mall. Camera footage helped detectives identify the suspect's vehicle, but they weren't able to detain the man, James Bennett, until November 9th. Bennett was arrested for the armed robberies and unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 men were arrested after they walked away from the Newcastle Correctional Facility Monday. Police say Austin Bolton and Keegan Brooks left the Level 1 housing unit at the facility around 5 p.m. and were found about 2 hours later. Bolton is incarcerated on 1 count of burglary, while Brooks is there on 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug. The prosecutor will decide if they'll face any additional charges. The Johnson County coroner has provided a cause of death for a woman who was found dead in a Franklin home Saturday. Sasha Nixon has more.
The death of Jennifer Lewis has been ruled a homicide. She died after being shot. Franklin police were called to Woodfield Boulevard in regard to a suicide attempt. By the time officers arrived, Lewis was dead. Police determined the incident to be suspicious. They questioned Jonathan Baker, who was at the home, and later arrested him for illegally having guns and violating his probation. Toxicology results for Lewis are still pending. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Parts of northern Indiana could get more than 2 inches of snow today, but less is expected in central Indiana.
It's mainly just going to be just enough lift in the atmosphere and just enough moisture for some periodic light snow, but it really won't amount to too much down this way.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says don't expect very much snow, if any, in and around the Circle City. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Southside Harrison, eastbound 465 slows from the White River over to Harding Street. Because of an earlier crash out in Greenfield, westbound 70 still chubby from State Road 9 over to County Road 200 west. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store, staplesconnect.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a great day today. High temperatures topping out in the upper 30s with a chance of a stray sprinkle through the afternoon. Later on tonight, lows bottom out in the lower 30s, and we're in store for another chilly day come Wednesday. Highs in the upper 30s with a chance of a flurry. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Mead for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
All right, Hammer, you call it as the big Trump announcement tonight. Tailgate worthy. Should the keg already be on ice? Will you tap it when you get home? Will you put the wings in the smoker?
I think so.
You think so? You think this
it's
is a
broadcast worthy? We're airing the announcement tonight.
That's right.
Here on WIBC.
9 o'clock.
You can't get near a TV or whatever. If you're out on the roads, if you want to hear if Donald Trump's going to announce he's running or not, we've got that 9 o'clock here tonight. But I think he's going to announce it, if anything, to jump in front of an indictment.
Or jump in front of other people that might want to, other GOP nominees that want to run for president as well, to try to clear the field. So so you think that's what this is? Is it some shenanigans?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. You have all this hype. You've got all the media attention. You've got TV and radio coverage. And he goes up there and he just speaks and doesn't do anything. I wouldn't put it past him. But honestly, I think an indictment's going to come, whether it's after the new year or whenever, and he wants to jump in front of it.
Okay. Well, we'll see. And it'll air live tonight, 9 o'clock, right here, 93 WIBC.
And maybe he's looking to pick up a little bit of momentum, because it seems like a lot of people are on the DeSantis train right now.
Oh, please, every poll I've seen.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up here. We've got some polling numbers, and again, take this for what you will, because polling sucks. We saw that looking at the midterms, right?
Yeah, leading up to the midterms, there were lots of positive polls for Republicans that shouldn't have been that close, and it turns out they weren't.
Right. Nevada was going to go red in the Senate. Arizona was going to go red in the Senate and the governor's office. None of that came true. But take this for what you want. Let's talk about Iowa.
All right.
First in the nation, Iowa caucus.
Yep.
The latest poll shows DeSantis leading Trump 48 to 37%.
Whoa, big number.
Now, back in August, not that long ago, it was Trump leading DeSantis 52 to 37. Now, this polling was done after the midterms, so maybe there's a little recency bias. Some Republicans that feel like, we were a little bit let down, but it's a complete flip-flop in favor of DeSantis. Let's go to New Hampshire. DeSantis, 52 to 37.
Hello.
And he was tied with Trump back in August, so another big jump for DeSantis. When you look at Florida, Trump far behind DeSantis, 56 to 30%. Now, these polls had a margin of error anywhere from 3% to 4.9%, but it's not coming close to covering those margins, Nige.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see tonight is Donald Trump get out in front of everybody, announce that he's running, and then you're also seeing something else happening, which is Trump surrogates like Lara Trump, married to Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, coming out on Fox News and saying, well, Governor Ron DeSantis is very smart, but he should give my father-in-law, President Donald Trump, a clear shot. She was speaking to Sky News Australia on Sunday, quote, I think that Ron DeSantis is smart. He's a young guy. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for him in the future to run for president. He's 44 years old. He should wait. He basically, Lara Trump going out, I don't know why she's talking to Sky News Australia, saying that DeSantis should wait until 2028.
I'm sure DeSantis will take Lara Trump's opinion into consideration, whether or not he's going to enter the race or not. We've been kind of waiting for Ron DeSantis to respond to some of the hits Donald Trump's been giving him, whether it's calling him
DeSanctimonious,
Ron DeSanctimonious, or things like that, little shots and jabs on social media. Today, We finally got a little bit. It's not a lot, but Ron DeSantis was basically asked about the criticism from Donald Trump. Here was his answer.
One of the things I've learned in this job is when you're leading, when you're getting things done, you take incoming fire. That's just the nature of it. I roll out of bed in the morning. I've got corporate media outlets that have a spasm, just the fact that I'm getting up in the morning, and it's constantly attacking. And this is just what's happened. I don't think any governor got attacked more, particularly by corporate media, than me over my 4-year term. And yet, what you learn is all that's just noise. And really what matters is, are you leading? Are you getting in front of issues? Are you delivering results for people? And are you standing up for folks? And if you do that, then none of that stuff matters. And that's what we've done. We focused on results and leadership. And, at the end of the day, I would just tell people to go check out the scoreboard from last Tuesday night.
Oh,
he dropped the scoreboard line on Trump.
A little scoreboard from what happened in Florida compared to the rest of the nation.
Oh, just dropped the scoreboard smack talk.
And he didn't mention Donald Trump's name.
No.
Didn't really go after him individually, kind of lumped him in the category of everybody else. But let's not kid ourselves. We know who he's talking about right there. So the voting is today for GOP leadership. The House vote is done, and Kevin McCarthy, once again, has been dubbed the House leader. Now, keep in mind, he's
the favorite for the next Speaker of the House.
Right. If the Republicans hang on to the House, and NBC's called it for the Republicans, other news networks, they're really close. They haven't called it officially yet. But play along with me. Let's say the Republicans do have that razor-thin margin in the House of Representatives. McCarthy is still going to have to get 218 votes to become the Speaker of the House. Now, there are some Republicans that are not in favor of Kevin McCarthy and what he's doing, and one of them is Matt Gaetz.
I'm making my announcement, which is that I'm not voting for Kevin McCarthy. I'm not voting for him tomorrow. I'm not voting for him on the floor, and I am certain that there is a critical mass of people who hold my precise view.
Why don't they make Trump Speaker of the House? He doesn't have to be a member of Congress.
No, you don't.
That'd be a little bit of a demotion for Donald Trump, I think. So, the official vote won't take place until whenever the lawmakers are sworn in. What is that, January 3rd?
Right, after January.
Yeah.
And again, this was a secret ballot today, but we don't know the totals. But McCarthy was the winner, but he's still got to get 218 to become the Speaker of the House. If he doesn't get 218, they're going to have to get back together, maybe nominate somebody else, and see if they can get to that. Now, some of the other names we're hearing, Jim Jordan, Steve Scalise, those were some of the other folks that were rumored to be interested in the Speaker of the House position.
Well, Steve Scalise is McCarthy's deputy right now. So he's in position to be the majority leader again when the new Congress convenes next year.
We've also got interesting race for the whip with a hard H. So Tom Emmer, who chairs the House GOP campaign's arm, should be taking on Jim Banks, Indiana Representative Jim Banks. He's the head of the Conservative Republican Study Committee. And then you've got Drew Ferguson of Georgia tossing his name in the hat as well. So we've got those things to figure out, and of course, Cocaine Mitch, too.
Cocaine Mitch. Majority is like one win away for the House right now. So they're close.
Right.
So they're close
and like
to
I
wrapping
said,
this up.
NBC called it yesterday.
Yeah.
Fox is 1 seat away for the majority, but one domino is down. McCarthy has been selected. We'll see. I know there's a lot of Republicans that are looking to kind of blow this thing up and try something different, whether it's with Ronna McDaniel as the head of the GOP, the party as a whole, whether it's Cocaine Mitch in the Senate, whether it's McCarthy in the House, which they've already voted through, and then you've got the whip position. Whip. I'm telling you, this is not a done deal. Just because McCarthy got through today does not mean he's going to be the Speaker of the House, unless guys like Matt Gaetz and some folks in the Freedom Caucus are just all talk and no action. Speaking of a man that's all talk, but he's a lot of action. Oh my God, is he a man of action? Matt Bear.
Looking at northbound 65 right now up in Lebanon. This is a closure. And it is at State Road. It's between State Road 32 and US 52, exit 141. So the closure is actually before US 52. Traffic is stopped for 2.5 miles back to State Road 39. All lanes closed because of a crash. Westbound 70 slow out of Greenfield from State Road 9 for about 1.5 miles. That's because of a crash that has cleared. Traffic sponsored by Meijer. Feast for less this Thanksgiving with Meijer Grade A frozen turkey for 55 cents per pound with your additional $25 purchase. Limit 1. Save big on your Thanksgiving meal at Meijer. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And let's get back to the head of the party, if we can, Ronna McDaniel. She's announced she's running for another term, but we're hearing some chatter, a little bit of scuttlebutt that Lee Zeldin of New York interested in that position, as well as Mercedes Schlapp and her husband, Matt Schlapp.
Zeldin's a star. He did well in the race for governor of New York. He lost, but he's a star, and flipped a bunch of blue seats in the down ballot in New York.
And Mercedes, she's the former White House official under Donald Trump. So we've got some action. Going to keep an eye on it for you. 40 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Learn how a Retire Shield plan from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors provides clear, straightforward retirement solutions that are custom tailored for you. This Sunday on WIBC from 9 to 10 a.m.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The children's music and dance teacher who couldn't cha-cha.
I was always on my feet. It was just so painful.
Elisa couldn't let her students down. So she stepped up and went to the Good Feet store for personally fitted arch supports.
I would work an entire day and my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. That was when I knew, wow, these are different.
But the really good part?
It's good to be dancing together again.
Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come in for a free fitting, no appointment needed. The Good Feet store, in the north, near Keystone at the Crossing or in Greenwood.
It's the season to give thanks and celebrate family and friends with the traditions that comfort us, like enjoying honey-baked ham, slow smoked for 24 hours with their special blend of hardwood chips, spiral sliced for easy serving, then fire glazed right in the store to create that sweet, crunchy finish they're famous for. It's why 4 generations of families have made honey-baked ham the centerpiece of their holiday dinners since 1957. Taste the tradition with 2 Central Indiana locations, West 96th Street and Michigan Road in Indy and East Greyhound Pass in Carmel.
Indianapolis. When you choose Medicare Advantage from United Healthcare, you're with a plan chosen by more people. Medicare Advantage plans from United Healthcare give you more for your Medicare dollar. Get great benefits like dental, vision, and hearing coverage and more. Call United Healthcare at 1-888-CALL-UHC. That's 1-888-CALL-UHC. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Based on June 2022 CMS enrollment data.
PXG is now open in Indy, baby. Introducing PXG's newest retail store, PXG Indianapolis. Get fitted for hot new PXG golf clubs and our brand new state-of-the-art fitting bays. And shop PXG's off-the-hook apparel, hats, bags, all sorts of stuff. So come by our beautiful new PXG Indianapolis store, 6091 East 82nd Street. We'll be waiting for you. PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
The next time you visit your healthcare provider, we'll ask you about your race, ethnicity, and preferred language. Why do we ask? We ask because we care. Providing you with the highest level of care requires that we know all we can about you. Not only will this help us take better care of you, it will also help us learn more about our community and the additional services we can provide to keep Indiana as healthy as possible. This message is brought to you by Indiana University Health, Eskenazi Health, and Community Health Network.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents
Damn, nature, you scary.
On 93 WIBC.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
I'm going to try to find this on Twitter. I saw it on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but somebody sent me the link, and it's pretty freaky. A couple of women were hearing noises coming from the chimney of their cast iron stove that they got sitting in the middle of their living room. And so they pried it open. And here's what they found.
Okay, just stay.
I have no hold on it anymore.
You're good.
Any weight on it.
Come on, buddy.
Let's call animal control. Vultures are
Prying it open here.
Here it comes. It's coming out. Oh my God! There's a vulture in the house. Oh, it can fly.
Did I hear there's a vulture in the house?
Play the very end again, James.
Oh my God! There's a vulture in the house.
Yep. It's really terrifying, actually. That would freak me the F out if something like that happened.
Dude, I don't like it when there's like a mouse in the house.
No.
I don't like it when there's a cricket or anything in the house, let alone a big, ugly-ass vulture. I don't want a vulture in the house. Have you seen those things?
Oh, they're gross.
They look weird. They look like a big crank with a beak on it.
Yep, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Damn, nature, you scary.
All right, I will see your vulture attack, and I will take you to Wisconsin. A deer in Wisconsin broke into a home and stayed there for hours, running room to room, just destroying the house.
Oh, man.
Here's the homeowner talking about the deer getting stuck in her house and how she thinks her reindeer decorations attracted the animal to her home.
Nobody can believe that a full-grown deer is trapped upstairs in your house and can't find its way out. He was just trying to find a way out.
Poor old lady.
This is Dasher and Prancer. Prancer had an unwelcome suitor.
The decorations, the fake deer in her house, Prancer and Dancer got assaulted by a real deer.
So now I'm starting to think about the Hammer House because, you know, the crazy coupon lady is the crazy Christmas lady. I'm waiting for a deer to come to our house and start running around, pooping in the living room, doing all things deer do.
Remember a couple of summers ago, a deer got into the grocery store in Zionsville.
I remember that.
It was wild. Their back door was open. It was the middle of the summer, and somehow a deer got in there. And people were going nuts. People were like diving out of the way, taking evasive action.
Right. Now, there are some videos on YouTube of like other states, like Wisconsin or places like that, where a deer has gotten into the Walmart, but there's crazy like person that's ready to tackle the deer.
They get in, like if we wake up early enough, sometimes in my neighborhood, they'll wander out in your front yard. Like I could live in a neighborhood where there's a bunch of people and they still wander in from out, like from behind the woods or whatever.
Right.
And one of my neighbors is a hunter. And I go, dude, I don't think you're allowed to just shoot a deer if it's in your backyard in a residential neighborhood.
What if it's in a Walmart? Like, could you make the argument? Yeah. And again, hunters, maybe Guy Relford have to answer this. I don't know. But if a deer is running amok in a Walmart and you're fearful for your life or other people's lives, if the deer is ready to just run and charge, can you shoot and kill the deer in a Walmart?
I would say, yeah. If somebody's armed, if somebody is secretly, concealed carry,
right,
you should probably be able to maybe take it out. Yeah,
I would
save
think
some
so.
lives, especially if it's like a buck. It's got antlers and stuff.
Right, like the big Milwaukee Bucks mascot. If you see that thing running amok, you shoot to kill.
Damn, nature, you scary.
So did you see former NBA star Tim Hardaway's comments on the broadcast last night?
The guy with the killer crossover?
Right.
Or is that his dad?
No, that was Tim Hardaway.
Okay. But he has a son.
He's got a son that plays in the league, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay.
This was the old man. Used to be on those really good Golden State teams with Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond.
Killer crossover.
So he's part of the broadcast crew with the Golden State Warriors. And there was a situation in the game where two players got tangled up. It was like the Spurs against the Warriors. And it was kind of a physical moment where one guy was roughing somebody up. And Tim Hardaway basically said that it was rape.
Oh,
that was great, D. I thought that was just raping him. I think it could have went either way. Yeah, I think you should have called the police on that.
Right. Now, whoa!
I'll have you play that again here in just a moment, James. You can hear him at the beginning say, "I think he was raping him."
Yeah,
that was great, D. I thought that was just raping him. I think it could have went either way. Yeah, I think you should have called the police on that.
Right.
Yikes!
Lord.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So, of course, this did not go over well. And later in the game, like in the fourth quarter, there was this really awkward apology.
Fourth quarter. Hey, everybody. I used a poor choice of words earlier in the broadcast. I want to apologize for that. And, let's get back to the game and let's finish this game off with a 30-point win and go home happy.
You think he was really sorry for anything that he said there?
Well, he has a history of saying some pretty crazy stuff, doesn't he? I can't believe he's got a job in broadcasting, actually, if I remember correctly. Some anti-gay stuff, right?
He went on with Dan Le Batard when Dan was doing a local show in Miami at the time and basically said, "I hate gay people," and just ripped on gay players and gay
This is
people.
the same guy?
Yes. Tim Hardaway, killer crossover.
They gave him a broadcasting gig.
Right.
Okay, I don't know if he's made amends for that or not. I don't know if he ever apologized for that or not. But yeah, certainly there's a history, a precedent of odd comments from that guy. That's not a comparison you want to make.
No. And if you're the Warriors, listen, of all the players that you've had in the past, whether it's Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, I mean, you could go on and on. You couldn't find anybody better than Tim Hardaway, who's one, got a history of saying stupid stuff. But two, let's not get it twisted. He's not getting confused for being William Shakespeare anytime soon either. That half-assed apology, I'm not sure if that's going over real well.
Yeah, sorry about what I said earlier. Now let's get that 30-point win.
Ball game, baby. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
From the beginning to the bell ringing and on to bigger, better things, Franciscan Health's cancer specialists in Indiana and Illinois provide care before, during, and beyond your treatment. We get to know you, your family, and sometimes even your pets. We are dedicated to fighting your cancer because your life matters. For advanced treatments, clinical trials, nurse navigators, and compassionate teams of experts who specialize in every cancer type, make an appointment at franciscanhealth.org/cancercare.
With inflation on the rise, you may be charging more to your credit card. But be careful. That increased debt can cause your credit score to suffer.
Don't get stuck with a low credit score and a mountain of high-interest credit card debt. Call Golden Oak Lending now.
Refinance with our low rates to wipe out your high-interest credit card debt and put extra cash in your pocket. Call 317-706-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Hi, George Faber here from B Window. It's that time of year again when we focus on keeping our crews busy, and we offer unbelievably huge savings on all of our products. It's our employee discount Black Friday sale with savings of up to 52%, plus manufacturer's winter discounts and no payments, no interest for 18 months. Wow! Go to bwindow.com for all the details.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
Hun, have you seen my trapper hat with the ear flaps?
You mean that fuzzy one?
And what about my scouting vest?
Oh, no. Randy, no.
We need tires.
Right, but you don't have to go on some stupid hunt every time we need tires.
It's a quest for the best deal.
I called Tire Discounters. We saved $150 on our new Michelins, and they pick up and deliver.
What?
They already picked up the car.
Where's the fun in that?
Right now at Tire Discounters, the home of free alignment, you save up to $150 on Michelin tires.
Inflating prices aren't stopping anytime soon, and that kitchen or bath remodel you've been thinking about, if you wait any longer, it's just going to get more and more expensive. You need to be planning right now. Tony Katz for Boer Remodeling. Get in touch with Boer now to get on the schedule for 2023 and avoid some of those price increases. Boer Remodeling aims to be the finest remodeler in Central Indiana with the best materials and most skilled craftsmen. They'll guide you through the entire process to make your vision come to life. Boer Remodeling, BOOHER. Talk to BoerRemodeling.com to set up your free consultation.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Teasing a big announcement. Cloudy 39 degrees with some rain to the northwest on radar. Lows to the 30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. Former President Donald Trump plans to make a special announcement tonight. Some think it'll be another presidential campaign.
We know at least one GOP mega donor and new Florida resident has reservations about former President Donald Trump. That would be billionaire Citadel founder Ken Griffin. But the former president is not strapped for cash. As of October, he had nearly $70 million on hand. There would be immediate implications if he goes from former president to candidate Trump once again, though. Most notably, campaign finance laws would kick in, limiting donations he could accept from individual donors.
Fox's Grady Trimble. Some Republicans believe the party needs a new and more fresh candidate to run. Trump's announcement can be heard live on WIBC tonight at 9. If Trump announces another run for president, what would you think?
Part of me would like that just because I think he'll lose.
We saw in this midterm that maybe what he influences isn't as powerful as we thought.
The State Department isn't saying much after reports of a Russian missile landed in Poland and killed 2 people today.
Of course, Poland is an important ally and partner. And like I said, we are working with them to determine what happened and assess next steps as well.
Principal Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel spoke with reporters after reports say the missile landed in eastern Poland near the border with Ukraine. Today is a good day for Arizona, says Governor-elect Katie Hobbs at a rally in Phoenix.
It has been a long year and a half. But in this election, Arizonans chose solving our problems over conspiracy theories.
The Democrat declared victory a week after Election Day. She went on to address problems at the top of her priority lists. That includes education, abortion rights, border security, and lower costs for working families. Colts linebacker Shaquille Leonard is done for the season. He had surgery on his back this morning that will prevent him from playing again this year. The All-Pro linebacker is on injured reserve. The hope is the procedure fixed his back issues for good. Leonard only played in 3 games this season. He had 11 tackles and 1 interception. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Well, it's a great honor. It's obviously not the reason I volunteer, but it's nice.
Meet Chuck Bouillot, retired registered nurse, volunteer at Meals on Wheels, and another Jiffy Lube Do More winner.
And I'm Jiffy Lube owner Steve Sanner. At Jiffy Lube, we are proud to support Hoosier charities that use their vehicles to do more to make Indiana a better place to live.
Satisfying that I know that at least that day they will get a meal, maybe even 2 meals.
Jiffy Lube of Indiana provides all of our Do More winners with free vehicle maintenance for a year. Because now at Jiffy Lube, our trained technicians do more to keep vehicles like theirs and yours on the road. Brakes, tires, batteries, and more. As well as Indiana's favorite oil change since 1985.
To get an oil change every couple months is nice.
Jiffy Lube accepts competitors' coupons, so you don't have to choose between saving a few dollars versus treating your vehicle to Jiffy Lube's award-winning service. Click on JiffyLubeIndiana.com for a Jiffy Lube near you.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, crash enclosure in Lebanon. It's northbound 65 before US 52. All lanes blocked because of a crash, and traffic now stopped. Back to exit 138. That's Lebanon exit 138. So we are looking at about a 3.5 mile delay here of stopped traffic going northbound. Southbound lanes starting to drag from State Road 47 down to US 52 because of rubbernecking. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a great day today. High temperatures topping out in the upper 30s with a chance of a stray sprinkle through the afternoon. Later on tonight, lows bottom out in the lower 30s, and we're in store for another chilly day come Wednesday. Highs in the upper 30s with a chance of a flurry. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Hammer, do you know much about this Sam Bankman-Fried guy and the cryptocurrency company FTX and filing for bankruptcy and funneling money to the Democrats? I mean, that's
pretty much it right there.
I just get it in a nutshell right there.
That's pretty much it in like 15 seconds. So this crypto genius, and I'm using air quotes right there, is now being investigated by the feds because it looks like there's some good old-fashioned money funneling going on here. So all of those people who got into crypto, including Tom Brady and a lot of these other people, all of their money has been drained by this guy, Sam Bankman-Fried, the same dude that was on the cover of Forbes magazine for being the crypto genius not that long ago.
So this guy sounds like Bernie Madoff, except crypto.
Right? He also donated $38 million to Democratic candidates during the midterms.
That's a big amount.
He was the second biggest donor, only to George Soros.
Okay. So that should tell you something.
There's a lot going on here, and I know it's complicated. His company also set up this website called Aid for Ukraine to raise funds for Ukrainians with the war going on against Russia. Well, cryptocurrency donations were sent to the National Bank of Ukraine. When Ukraine got a lot of the money from the United States, the taxpayer money, the money Biden was sending over, they thought, we're going to put a lot of that into this account, the cryptocurrency account.
FTX?
Why? Well, we can debate about that. But next thing you know, all of this money comes funneling back to the DNC candidates. So there are allegations that Ukraine used U.S. taxpayer money and put it into this FTX crypto market, and in return, that was given back to Democrats in the United States.
I believe there's a term for that, laundering.
Yes.
Let me just go over that again. Ukraine getting money from the United States.
Yes.
A blank check, basically. Ukraine giving that money to this crypto guy, FTX, and then FTX giving it to the Democrats, number 2 donor behind George Soros.
That is correct. And on top of that,
originally voted to send all that to Ukraine, that money to Ukraine.
And on top of all of that, the company's now gone belly up. So anybody that's put a lot of money into crypto, which first of all, shame on you, but anybody that put a lot of money into this stuff, Tom Brady and others, you now have squat to show for it. This dude is like on the run. He's hanging out in the Bahamas somewhere trying to fight, coming back to the United States.
He wants to go to Dubai, I think.
He's got $1 billion, and this company lost $16 billion in 1 week and went belly up.
So the collapse, the implosion of this FTX cryptocurrency thing is linked not only to Ukraine, but also Democrat politicians who got money from this crypto genius, Sam Bankman-Fried.
His running of the crypto market bought him a lot of influence. He was at the White House a lot. All the high-ranking Dems knew this little nerd. And now there's an investigation going on. Now, of course, Ukraine is saying, well, there's nothing to see here. It's just a conspiracy theory. We don't know what you're talking about. But Miranda Devine of the New York Post, she's been the one behind this story. She jumped on Fox last night.
He frequently went to the White House and was really in the bosom of the left. And as you see, he was indulging in all sorts of woke causes, including Ukraine. And why on earth, the American taxpayer is funneling tens of billions of dollars over to Ukraine so that they can fight Russia? And why on earth they would be involved, the Ukrainian government, with this now collapsed cryptocurrency currency exchange, we need to know. I'm sure that when the bankruptcy trustees come out with all their information, we'll find out a little more, but it's not enough for the Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine to just scoff at questions and call them conspiracy theories. Why on earth was a country at war dabbling with cryptocurrency, which is everybody knows is shady?
Shady's the word. That's it.
At the end of the day, though, I'm so cynical, nothing's going to happen. This turd's going to get away with it. The money was already spent by the Democrats. They've already won all of these swing Senate seats and a lot of House seats they didn't think they were going to win. So he's going to probably get a slap on the wrist, might serve a little time, be like the farmer bro. He'll eventually get out and get away with it.
By the way, side note, we are keeping an eye on this, the missiles that landed in Poland right there on the Ukraine border, keeping a close eye on that. So far, the Pentagon has said they can't corroborate reports, but that could be a big deal if this was on purpose. Russia's saying it's not on purpose. We didn't mean to do. We didn't have anything to do with this. So keeping a close eye on that.
We've got more legal stuff.
Okay.
This is a headline from the New York Post. Quote, Governor Gavin Newsom's wife breaks down describing Harvey Weinstein's fish-like penis in court.
What?
Fish-like.
Well, okay. Yeah, you can stop at fish-like.
Okay.
You're going to have to flesh this one out for me. Maybe flesh is the wrong word.
Okay. Come on now. Got a lot of growing up to do. So the wife of Gavin Newsom's a former actress, Jennifer Newsom. She was in court, and this is Harvey Weinstein's sexual assault trial going on.
Yeah.
So a number of different accusers are going up there talking about their experience.
So this is the one in L.A., right?
Right. So Jennifer Newsom, the wife of Gavin, she was crying when she was describing the distorted and fish-like genitals during the sexual assault trial yesterday.
That's not the first time I've heard about Harvey's junk. I think he had some sort of weird surgery or something where he had to have part of his anatomy down there sewn to his leg. Like really, really weird stuff.
So the allegation is that Weinstein raped Newsom back in 2005 at this swanky Beverly Hills hotel.
Oh, man.
When asked by the deputy district attorney to describe Weinstein's physique, this is what Newsom said. And this is court testimony. Quote, lots of bruises, markings, yellow and green, lots of stretch marks on his belly, very not physically fit at all, looked uncircumcised, and strange, though, kind of fish-like. The penis, something was distorted in the testicles.
Yeah.
Lots of skin down there. Those were the exact words.
You want me to throw up again? Is this what you're trying to make me do for a third time on this show?
Now, if you think that Newsom's wife is trying to be sensational or over the top, let's go back just a week ago when another woman who wished to remain anonymous, she was going by Jane Doe number 2, kind of said the same thing about Harvey Weinstein's junk. She described it as disgusting. Quote, I didn't really see a full sack. I literally just saw a penis. It looked like it had been chopped off and sewn back on.
Yeah. I've heard, that's not the first time I've heard that. I heard like he had to sew his, I got to be careful. We got to be careful here. But there's like, he had like some sort of.
This is court testimony in a news story, so we're okay.
Yeah. So the sack had to be like reattached to his leg or something like that.
Something really weird.
It's something very bizarre. And this guy is a monster and needs to be put away for the rest of his life. And he obviously, it was so easy for him to manipulate and to lie and even to assault women because of his stature in Hollywood that he didn't care what he looked like. He's a monster.
And normally I wouldn't side with anything the Newsom family is offering, but in this case, I'm with them because the more public humiliation to Harvey Weinstein, the better. Michelle Obama, your thoughts?
I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein. Harvey, he is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
You know what they're doing in Washington right now? They're talking about making cuts to your Social Security benefits. So the money you were counting on for retirement could end up being a lot less than you thought it would be. Hey, don't get shortchanged on Social Security. Don't do it. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free customized Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. Bill knows Social Security like the back of his hand, and this customized analysis doesn't cost a dime. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-805-4716. 317-805-4716. That's 317-805-4716.
Hammer Nigel here for American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. I'm an American Standard customer. I had an American Standard air conditioner installed a couple of summers ago. And one of those fantastic local independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealers in Central Indy is?
How about Family Heating and Air, the Morris family and their staff ready to help you out this fall. You could call Rachel. You could call Marcus or Malia today for your furnace tune-up and to make sure that it's running safely and efficiently. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. Even if you've already got a quote from another company, something might not look right, call Family Heating and Air. They'll give you another quote for free because nobody cares for you like family. 317-577-8077. Family Heating and Air. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Well, I'm an orthopedic surgeon, board certified.
Meet Dr. John Herzog, who's certainly done his share of knee and hip replacements. But these days, he's encouraging his patients to look at regenerative medicine options, now available at QC Kinetics.
I'm kind of the anti-surgeon right now, and a lot of my buddies, if they hear me talking, they're going to give me a call.
Dr. Herzog says advances in regenerative medicine can give your achy joints lasting relief, using highly concentrated healing agents from your own body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
We take the fluid out of you, we concentrate it and put it in an area where they couldn't normally get to and facilitate healing.
Are you suffering from constant pain due to arthritis or injury? Maybe it's time to look at alternatives to drugs and surgery at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in these exciting treatments.
What could be more natural than using your own body to heal yourself?
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Don't let higher interest rates stop you from getting the home of your dreams. We will refinance you with no fees anytime 6 months after your original closing. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
There's a lot of sexy content on the internet. And there's WIBC, full of faces meant for radio. Hammer and Nigel, Kendall and Casey. Okay, Casey could be on TV. Now streaming every day on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/WIBC.
And again, I hate that promo. And Matt Bear, you should hate it more than anybody. You're a good-looking man. You're buff. You're ripped. You got muscles. You got a chiseled jaw. You should have your own TV show.
You know, every time I hear that promo, I'm like, speak for yourself, you know?
Right.
You know,
right.
And I know you guys feel the same way. I'm like, hey, I'm single here. Come on, give me a break.
We're on TV every day, Nigel.
Yes, I thought the same thing.
I've got 2 TV shows on the weekend for sports betting, and you look like an Adonis.
Yeah.
So I hate that commercial. I hate that promo.
Publishing my calendar. Right
Casey is hot, though, and she does deserve her own show.
She deserves her TV show. Looking to North. Okay, I feel better. Thank you. I'm so glad somebody finally said that. Northbound 65 closed right now at US 52. All lanes are shut down because of a crash. This is in Lebanon. Traffic stopped for 4.5 miles past Indianapolis Avenue. Lebanon exit 138. Everything is congested inside Lebanon right now. Rerouting is going to be tough and going to require patience. You can read more about it at WIBC Traffic. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% discount plus manufacturer's rebates. No payments, no interest for 18 months. BWindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we got 40 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Are there any radio stations playing Christmas music yet?
It's coming.
Is our sister station? Like, I remember when I worked for this signal, 93.1, but it was Radio Now back in the day. We played pop music back in the early 2000s. And I woke up one morning in 2007 in October, and they were playing nothing but Christmas music. And I'm like, why is the station I'm working for, who usually plays Fall Out Boy and Christina Aguilera, playing Christmas music? And I looked down at my cell phone, and my boss was calling me. And he goes, yeah, hey, we flipped formats.
Oh, no.
Everybody's fired. You don't need to come in today. So I was just wondering, if you start hearing Christmas music on this radio station, you know what happened.
Like all the time.
Because it's already happened once on this frequency.
Now, B105, our sister station, after Thanksgiving through Christmas, it's nothing but Christmas music.
I didn't know if they started earlier.
And that's when, their program director, Sean, walks around with his chest out. Look at our ratings. Look at our numbers.
The numbers are huge, yeah.
Right, because the Christmas book, it's like a joke around here. You're not going to do anything close to what B's doing when they start playing Christmas music. But the reason we had that song playing was that the house from the movie A Christmas Story is now up for sale. So the house,
Cleveland?
The house up in Cleveland where Ralphie and his family lived at in the movie, it's now up for sale. The listing price has not been made available, but it comes with a big piece of property, a museum, a gift shop, a parking lot, room for further expansion.
Yeah, so I think you could stay in that place like an Airbnb or something like that. I think you can rent like stay overnight in it. I think they rent it out, or sort of like a boutique hotel or something like that. But now you're saying they're selling it outright to somebody?
Right. And it's on the market.
Well, I guess the only problem is it's in Cleveland. I mean,
right.
I love A Christmas Story. It'd be cool to live in that house, but you have to live in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me.
Have you seen the previews for the new Christmas Story movie with the grown-up Ralphie?
Yes.
Have you seen? I can't decide if it looks very good or not. It's on HBO. I don't know when it comes out.
I think it comes out the 17th, so we're a couple days away.
Yeah, I've seen the previews. I'll probably watch it with my kids or something, but I don't know how good it looks.
See, I was like that with the Coming to America sequel that they made, and I think that was just for streaming as well. But
you were surprised, though, weren't you?
It was better than I thought, because I went in with really low expectations, because there's no way you could be better than, in that case, Coming to America, or in this case, A Christmas Story. But it was better than I thought. I was expecting a turd, and I got maybe a hairball. Does that make sense?
No.
Tell me if this interests you at all. Let's say that the new Christmas Story movie doesn't interest you.
Yeah.
How about this? UFC boss Dana White. He wants to bring the Power Slap League to TBS starting in January.
What is the Power Slap League?
Where two people are face to face, and then they just smack the taste out of each other as hard as they can.
Like open-handed?
Open-handed, smack to the face, and you earn points based on the reaction of the other person.
Can you knock them out?
You could. In theory, yes.
But not with a punch, not with a closed fist. You're saying like a B slap.
Right.
Open
palm, Will Smith style, smack to the face. You could go on YouTube. They do some of these contests like throughout the country.
The first two contestants, Chris Rock and Will Smith. Yeah.
And I'm reading here, you can knock your opponent out or win by points, and scoring is based on the striker's effectiveness, along with the defender's reaction and recovery time. So I think I would watch two people slapping the hell out of each other.
But you're saying this is Dana White's putting this on from UFC?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Why? What's your problem?
He's got the big power and prestige of the UFC, and now you're going to try something else out here, slap fighting.
It's been going around for a while, and it's not like it's real skinny dudes, right? It's not like little Rob Kendall's trying to slap somebody. Some of these dudes look like professional wrestlers, and they're up there with the open palm, and they smack the living hell out of you. That's kind of interesting.
Hey, we have a special guest coming up after 4 o'clock.
We do. It's Doug Carter, the superintendent of the Indiana State Police. We got a lot of ground to cover. So we're going to talk, obviously, about the Delphi investigation, but some other things as well. I've got some questions maybe he can answer. We're going to have that conversation when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Indianapolis. When you choose Medicare Advantage from United Healthcare, you're with a plan chosen by more people. Medicare Advantage plans from United Healthcare give you more for your Medicare dollar. Get great benefits like dental, vision, and hearing coverage and more. Call United Healthcare at 1-888-CALL-UHC. That's 1-888-CALL-UHC. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Based on June 2022 CMS enrollment data.
So there's several reasons why I love Exercise Inc., and they've been great for me. I've been in the program for years. They've been helping clients change their lives in 20 minutes a week for more than 18 years. The program is safe enough that anyone could do it. I don't have time to go to a gym every day, 5 or 6 days a week, and spend an hour at a time. My body gets the exercise it craves, it needs once a week for 20 minutes with Exercise Inc. When I first started, I lost 20 pounds. And sometimes you can't always do it by yourself. You need a coach, you need a trainer to help push you along. So not only the physical side, but help you out with your diet. Your coach is going to hold you accountable to reach your health and fitness goals. And Exercise Inc. will give you the tools to do so. Several locations all over town, including Zionsville, Avon, Brownsburg, and Greenwood. Check out the success stories at exerciseinc.com. Don't wait. Get to their website, exerciseinc.com. Set up a free consultation. Exercise Inc. Change your life in 20 minutes a week.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Switch to Xfinity and get one line of unlimited mobile and home internet together for $50 a month for 12 months. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Connect Internet customers only on one-year contract. Internet included for 12 months. New Xfinity mobile account required. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Xfinity post-pay internet required for Xfinity mobile. Additional devices extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of data usage. Offer ends 12/21/22.
November is upon us, and it's time to give thanks. One thing I'm thankful for this season is for the professionals at Zero Res who clean my home. With my family coming to town for Thanksgiving and my friends gathering for Friendsgiving, I need my house looking its best. My family and friends were so impressed by how clean my carpets, hardwood floors, and area rugs were that they called Zero Res immediately. Zero Res is the only company I trust to clean my home. Their proprietary technology cleans your carpets without flooding the carpet padding. That means I can have my house looking its best with dry carpets in just a few hours, not days. Their team of knowledgeable technicians always walk me through the entire carpet cleaning process and make sure that I'm completely satisfied before they leave. So give Zero Res a call today and make an appointment. You'll be thankful you did. Right now, when you mention WIBC, you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $149. Call 317-388-5141 or schedule your appointment through ZeroResIndianapolis.com and treat yourself to a smarter, lasting clean.
This is Ryan again, owner of Plumbing Heating Paramedics. Paramedics know that timing is everything, and for us, mild weather this time of year means furnace sales are slower, which means you can take advantage of our best offer of the year. Now through December 10th, we are offering $2,500 off a new Trane furnace or air conditioner. A deal this strong allows us to keep our technicians busy and gives you the best deal of the year. Call to schedule your free home evaluation today or visit phparamedics.com for more details.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
It's B-Window's Black Friday sale.
52% discount plus manufacturer's rebates and no interest, no payments for 18 months.
Trust me.
Coming up in 2 minutes, local news from around Indianapolis. After Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A potential new crisis developing between NATO and Russia. I'm Frank Motek, Fox News. The latest Russian missile barrage, apparently aimed at the Ukrainian power grid, has for the first time reportedly crossed into NATO member Poland, killing 2 people in a village near the Polish-Ukrainian border. Fox's Greg Palcott reports from Kyiv, Ukraine.
According to a senior U.S. official and according to reports on the ground, a Russian missile fired from somewhere off of Ukraine went into Ukraine airspace, but then veered into eastern Poland and actually hit a target, not a target, but a site in eastern Poland, killing 2 people. This is the first time something like this has happened. This triggers all sorts of questions about what the reaction could be from NATO.
According to NATO's Article 5, any attack on a NATO member would trigger a response from the United States and other NATO members. Russia's military was quick to deny the reports. Meanwhile, the White House says President Biden is now asking Congress for more than $37 billion in new emergency aid to Ukraine. Former President Donald Trump is set to make a big announcement tonight. Fox's Griff Jenkins reports in Palm Beach, Florida.
He's been hinting at it for weeks. Now it's official. Former President Trump set to make a special announcement at 9 p.m. Eastern here at the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach. No indication of who might be on the VIP list, but one person not expected, former Vice President Mike Pence, who was critical of his former boss in an interview with ABC, saying there are, quote, better options out there than Trump in 2024. However, Trump did get a key endorsement ahead of his announcement from the House GOP conference chair, Elise Stefanik.
House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy today cleared the first major hurdle to become the next Speaker of the House as Republicans are poised to regain control of the chamber. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Her death now ruled a homicide. Cloudy, 39 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Radar shows some rain to the northwest. A low of 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. The Johnson County coroner has provided a cause of death for the woman found dead in a Franklin home Saturday. Sasha Nixon has more.
The death of Jennifer Lewis has been ruled a homicide. She died after being shot. Franklin police were called to Woodfield Boulevard in regard to a suicide attempt. By the time officers arrived, Lewis was dead. Police determined the incident to be suspicious. They questioned Jonathan Baker, who was at the home, and later arrested him for illegally having guns and violating his probation. Toxicology results for Lewis are still pending. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man accused of robbing a Subway and PetSmart at gunpoint was arrested by Indy Metro Police November 9th. Police say James Bennett robbed a Subway off Washington Street on the west side, and the PetSmart was also on Washington Street, but on the east side. IMPD was able to make the arrest thanks to security cameras and witnesses. 2 men were arrested after they walked away from the Newcastle Correctional Facility Monday. Police say Austin Bolton and Keegan Brooks left the Level 1 housing unit at the facility around 5 p.m. and were found about 2 hours later. Bolton is incarcerated on 1 count of burglary, while Brooks is there on 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug. The prosecutor will decide if they face any additional charges. Depending on where you live in Indiana, you might see snow today.
But one thing that's pretty consistent, the temperature. I'm Sean Herrick. Temperatures will be dropping everywhere.
It looks like a cold weekend. It may moderate just a little bit, so temperatures may be back up into the low 30s for highs. It's a big change from what we had say a week or so ago when we were in the warm pattern.
But Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says it should warm up, though, by Thanksgiving weekend. Sean Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Colts linebacker Shaquille Leonard is done for this season. Ian Rappaport with the NFL Network says he had surgery on his back this morning, and that will prevent the linebacker from playing again this year. The hope is his back issues are fixed for good. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
But traffic on the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Crash enclosure up in Lebanon. It's northbound 65 completely shut down. At US 52, traffic is backed up for about 4.5 miles past the Lebanon exit 138. And the delay is awful. Stop traffic is awful, and everything inside Lebanon really jammed up right now on all the reroutes. This is going to require some patience. I can have reroute ideas. They're up right now at WIBC traffic. Northwest side, northbound 465 stops 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Walgreens. When it's time to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Walgreens Find RX coverage makes it easy to find the plan for you, plus low-cost copays. Compare plans online, over the phone, or in person for free. Shop today at walgreens.com/Medicare. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, a chance of light snow north of I-70, lows around 30 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered snow showers, especially in the afternoon. Little to no accumulation, highs in the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC. So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also special in-studio guest, Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter joining us back live in studio. Good to have you live in studio, Doug. Good to see you again. You look great. Pull that microphone right up toward you there.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know,
awesome.
One of the things a few weeks ago after you were at the podium announcing that you'd made an arrest for Abby and Libby, I just felt like a sense of relief, because this was one huge step towards finally getting some justice for Abby and Libby. I know you were quite emotional at that podium, at that press conference a few weeks ago. Did you feel a sense of relief? I mean, I know you're working with several different agencies, but you're kind of the face. You've been kind of the spokesperson for the investigation.
You know, I couldn't wait for that day. And then when I finally got there, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to think or how I was going to feel. But the most important thing to me was to see how that community might begin, but most importantly of all, as a family. And it was a very strange, emotional day.
It was an intense press conference too, because there were so many questions you couldn't answer, and the prosecutor couldn't answer. And I could feel some frustration on the part of reporters in that room, because I know this investigation is still ongoing.
I don't blame him a bit for being frustrated. I don't blame him a bit. But we have to remember that now that we're where we are, it's not a community interest story. It's very factual now, and we have to be very careful. I think that's what everybody expects. So on one hand, we say to the media, thank you, and I really do mean that, for keeping this front and center, not just nationally, but even globally. But then the other side is when you have questions, we can't answer them. So I understand that frustration. I really, truly do.
And I know you can't answer every question that we have here, but we're going to fire away anyway. Is the guy in custody, Richard Allen, is he the only person being looked at in this investigation?
Right now, he's the one that's been that's now facing murder charges. So, again, we are not going to stop looking at other people until this is completely done and we have nothing left to do. So, 70,000 plus tips, hundreds have come in since 2 weeks ago, week ago Monday, I guess, and we'll continue to receive those tips and look into them as you would expect.
If this affidavit is released and there's a hearing coming up, I believe on the 22nd, that's got some information that led to the arrest of Richard Allen, the suspect. If that is allowed to be given to the public, is that going to compromise the investigation in any way?
No, I don't think at this point it will. And I think it'll answer a lot of the questions that people have. And
will we find out how we got to this point with that information?
Yeah, it'll be much clearer.
What could happen? Can you give us a hypothetical of what could happen if investigators say too much too soon? If somebody, and it doesn't have to be with this case in particular, just a hypothetical of a murder case, and somebody on the team or in the prosecutor's office says something that they shouldn't have. What's the domino effect that could happen potentially if you reveal too much information in a case like this?
Yeah, it's a great question, and the answer is there are things that we know that only the killer would know, and I'm speaking generally, and it's an investigative strategy, obviously, that if we know what the killer knows and nobody else does, that when we do talk to the killer, we'll have a clearer idea of what occurred, and that's a very similar strategy that we've used here.
One of the things that I've heard is why not release the cause of death? Not because people are morbidly curious, but if they knew they were looking for somebody that was either a stab or a gunshot, maybe they know somebody that sold the gun, sold the knife. Maybe they could find the weapon somewhere. What's the rationale for not releasing the official cause of death?
Because the individual or individuals that did it, only they know what they did.
But do you think that's, and I'm trying to think of the right way to say this, has that slowed down the investigation? Because I think the public, with all of their tips, has been a big help in this. Wouldn't it make sense to have the public looking for the possible weapon?
I don't think at this point it would. Functionally, I understand the question, Hammer. I really do understand it. And we're going to look back on this and probably realize, dang it, I wish we'd have done A, B, and C rather than D and E.
Right.
But now's not the time for us to change that strategy and talk about everything that we know.
What did you think when, like, a lot of news has happened with the story since you made the announcement of the arrest? Richard Allen has been moved to a state facility. The Carroll County judge has recused himself. Did that concern you at all, that the judge in this case, after 5 years of having been being prepared for this day, all of a sudden is now saying, well, we don't have enough resources to facilitate this. I'm stepping down and we're going to move it somewhere else. Did that concern you?
Yeah, it did. It doesn't anymore. It was, again, that day was very unusual for all of us, the family, the community, the country, the world, period. It was very unusual. And then the reality struck of where we were. And I think that struck the judge at the same time. And I appreciate him having the ability and the courage to step up and step out and say, you know what, this is too big for me. Okay. I didn't know what was going to happen, but here's what's currently happening. Here's the influx. And with this small number of people in a very rural county, it's not something that we can perpetuate and manage.
Another piece of information that came out since the arrest, and this was just the last couple of days, is that maybe this guy, Richard Allen, has been on the radar for a long time. Did he speak to investigators? Did he speak to police in the early stages of this investigation?
That'll all come out in due time. I'm not going to talk about Richard Allen today.
Yeah, that Wish. There was a story on Wish TV, our news gathering partners, about some police sources and some information. Did you see that yesterday?
I did.
The search of the Wabash River. They're saying a source is linked to the Delphi investigation. Like Hammer said about Richard Allen, how long he's been on the radar. When you see a story like this, is it? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is it frustrating, especially when you see a police source confirmed this? That's what they're saying.
That's a leak from within, right?
It is frustrating. I will say yes. It is absolutely frustrating because we can't talk about what we think, and I've said this many times before. You should expect us to only talk about what we know. And that even changes more so once there's a probable cause affidavit signed by a judge for the arrest of an individual. Not just Richard Allen, but in any criminal case, especially a complex criminal case. This case is unlike any that I've seen in almost a 40-year career. So there are so many different tentacles to this. It's very complex. And, shame on us for saying something that might jeopardize that. So whoever this, quote, source is, I doubt very seriously that individual is a part of the core team.
The other name that's involved in this whole story is Keegan Kline. Now, he has not been charged with anything in regards to the murders of these beautiful young ladies in Delphi, but we know that he's locked up for child porn. We know that he had some sort of communication with one of the ladies the day before they passed away. Has he been speaking to police? Has he been given some sort of plea deal to help police?
We'll continue to work on Keegan Kline and whatever his connectivity might be to Abby and Libby and almost 2,100 days ago. So we will continue to work towards that.
It's hard to believe it's been that long.
2,086 days last Monday.
Wow. Should we take a break? Can you stick around for a second segment?
Sure, you bet.
Should we
bet.
hit a traffic break here?
Yes.
All right, let's.
Matt Baer standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center. Matt, what's going on?
Crash up in Lebanon, northbound 65. All lanes are closed because of a crash, and they're in the process of cleaning up. In the meantime, traffic's backed up for 4.5 miles past Lebanon exit 138. Now we have a crash in Lawrence at Shadeland Avenue at East 52nd Street, and on the east side, southbound 465 stop and go 70 to 74. Traffic sponsored by Wendy's $3 breakfast deal. Right now at Wendy's, enjoy the $3 breakfast deal. Choose between the bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, and get a small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We got 40 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center here at 93 WIBC. When we come back, we've got Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter here. Doug, I've had some issues with some of these press conferences. I want to talk about that. I'll give you the opportunity to just chew me out and yell at me and do whatever you want to do. We'll have that conversation. Plus, we want to dive into some other stuff. Can you stick around?
Absolutely, yes.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Sooner or later, we're all forced to face the fact that the world may not revolve around us. But if it's any consolation, there's a health network that does. It serves everyone in East Central Indiana, and it's called Hancock Health. From a hospital named one of America's safest to wellness centers supporting lifelong well-being, our more than 30 facilities were created with the idea of making healthcare all about you. See every way we're making health possible at hancockhealth.org.
Man, I got a feeling it's going to be...
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Man, I got a feeling it's going to be one of those cold Indiana winters. Temperatures are dropping, costs are up, energy bills are up. That's why you need new Window Nation energy-efficient windows installed. 2 free windows with every 2 you buy right now with Window Nation.
This deal is going to be going away soon. So at least make the phone call and ask if you can lock the deal in now. And maybe you get new windows now. Maybe you wait a little bit. But Window Nation wants to hear from you. Because this deal, it is a game changer. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And there's no limit. And you don't pay anything until 2025. We're talking about no payments, no down payments, no interest, save thousands of bucks, but it all starts with a phone call. What do you have to lose? Give them a call right now, 866-90-NATION. Ask how you can get this amazing deal, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. But you have to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Comes directly from your crawl space? Do you even know what's in your crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, Indy's most trusted, award-winning experts. A dry, healthy crawl space protects the health of your family and your greatest asset, your home. Transform your problem crawl space into a dry, healthy, energy-saving crawl space today and call the real, local, family-owned crawl space experts. Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, 317-407-1868 or SwaincoLLC.com.
Did you know that you need to winterize your roof? Let Moss Roofing be your first call. MossRoofing.com. Call Moss Roofing before winter hits. Damaged siding can create one big winter project that you do not want to deal with, especially in that frigid cold. Moss Roofing can inspect, repair, or replace damaged siding. They can also recommend downspout extensions or top-notch gutter guards if they see any red flags during the inspection. Let's talk insulation. Investing in and reinforcing your home's insulation with Moss Roofing can reduce your energy bills and keep you warmer this winter. Whether you need to install new insulation or replace your existing insulation, you can always turn to Moss Roofing. Moss Roofing will find the solution that works best for you and your budget. The expert inspectors from Moss Roofing can identify your unique needs. Whether you need winter-ready insulation, gutters, repairs, or a replacement, the Moss Roofing team will come up with a custom winterizing plan for you. Visit mossroofing.com to get your winter prep started today.
Tickets on sale now for Christmas Nights of Lights at the Indiana State Fairground. Purchase online early to reserve your time slot. Their new colorful field of lights is a must-see. Christmas Nights of Lights is open nightly, including all holidays, November 11th through January 1st. Purchase tickets at ChristmasNightsOfLights.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here.
Hello.
Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter is here. One more thing on the Delphi story before we move on to something else. I have been pretty critical of some of these press conferences. You touched on it earlier. You understand why the press would be a little upset. My beef with a lot of these early on was that it felt like these things were happening just for the sake of happening. There was no new information. And the reason I felt that way, I was trying to think, if I was the parent of one of these young ladies, I feel like I would be getting my hopes up every time one of these press conferences would happen, but then they would happen and there's no new information. And then it would feel like sometimes there'd be some theatrics, like some cliches being thrown out there, which, again, felt like it was getting the hopes up of these families. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I can see your perspective, but that wasn't the case. There was one press conference I can remember specifically that Mike and Becky were not aware of. And I regret that. I take responsibility here. And if there's going to be criticism, I want to come to me. But over time, it was important that we kept talking about this.
Right.
And Hammer, had we not done that, we wouldn't have been able to say to the media, thank you for keeping it front and center. So,
asking
I don't
for
think
tips
there was
and asking for tips and
information. Yeah. Everybody expects everything to be solved through science today, and that's just always not the case. It's a combination of all of it. So the human impact has been really, really fascinating to watch. And again, we didn't have a playbook here, and we did the very best we could for over 5.5 years. And again, we look back on some of the events and strategies. I'll look forward to debating those as time goes on.
What do you think the biggest mistake has been? Can you talk about that? Like, I know there's an ongoing investigation, but a couple times today you've said, we're going to learn from this. We've made mistakes. Yeah. Give me an example.
Was the sketch, the two sketches?
No, I don't think that was a mistake at all. That was frankly a pretty effective strategy that kept information coming our way.
Because the second one looked nothing like this guy that's into custody. The first one, you could put a side-by-side up with Richard Allen, and you can say, I see that. The second one looked nothing like that guy.
Yeah, and that's something.
But was that the right thing to put that out? Because clearly it doesn't look like him.
Well, again, remember, the photo or a sketch is not a photograph. It's a sketch based on human recollection. So I was convinced that eventually we were going to put those together and we were going to be able to take them apart, and there's going to be the individual. So, we're human beings. We're expected to be superhuman. We're not. And we do the best we can every single day, and that's what we'll continue to do.
When someone says, I think Superintendent Carter just loves to see himself on television. What's your response?
Oh, that's crazy. No, I'm aging like an old farm dog. That's not the case at all. What I'm trying to do is keep community and areas around the state aware of what we're doing as much as we possibly can, because this isn't okay.
It would pivot here, just a few minutes left here with Superintendent Doug Carter from the Indiana State Police. Really good seeing you at the Central Indiana Police Foundation charity last Thursday, Breakfast with a Cop, raising money for that incredible foundation. And I just wonder if you could take a few minutes to speak about what we saw there. Hammer and I were sitting with Officer Tommy Mangan.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. We were sitting with the family of fallen officer Noah Shanavaz and the speaker, Jerry Baker, retired police officer, his son dying in the line of duty. Yeah. Just, an incredible event, hundreds of thousands of dollars raised. Just talk a little bit about that.
Matt and Lori Shanavaz, they were sitting with you at the table. Yeah. I've really developed an amazing relationship with them, and they're just so inspirational. Tommy and his wife, that I had not met them. That was a really cool moment in time.
He looks great.
Oh, my gosh, doesn't he ever?
He's a handsome guy.
Oh, he's
taller than I thought, too.
Stands right up, and he just completely engaging, and his wife was just a beautiful, beautiful person. Hearing Jerry Baker's story, I remember that night. I remember
the longest law enforcement shootout in Indiana history.
It was unbelievable to hear the perception from a dad that literally watched his son die. Yeah. You could hear a pin drop in that room with 600 people. It was a fantastic morning, and for the community to support us the way they do, I hope you hear us say thanks all the time. It was really neat to see you guys there and participating in that event. Yeah. I know you do that a lot around Central Indiana.
No, we were honored to be guests. We were just honored to be there.
Yes. Yeah. Law enforcement is something that's near and dear to both Nigel and I. We have family members that do that for a living, and it's really important to us. We were talking off air rather. Are you seeing the same level of crime statewide as we're seeing here in Indianapolis?
Yeah, and if we're not, the answer is yes, we are, and it's a per capita analysis based on the number of people that live in a certain area. But the perception of not feeling safe is oftentimes worse than the reality of it. And I think that you find that all over Indiana, that people are not feeling as safe as they once did. And again, I think I should take responsibility for that, and I try to, but that's just the truth.
Are you finding a lot of drugs, situation with drugs, fentanyl? I mean, we hear about coming through the border, that porous border. You're finding a lot of overdoses and things like that, and drug busts and things.
Oh, we haven't even scratched the surface of it yet. It just continues. I just got a briefing here recently from our laboratory, and the amount of fentanyl that they're dealing with. And
is it worse than the news makes it even out to be? Because you hear a lot about it on the news, but you guys are out there every single day. How bad is it?
Unless you see it, you don't understand it. It's the worst thing we've seen in generations. And now with the different pill presses and the colors and the Skittle-like, it's going to continue to exponentially increase over time, and we've got a lot of work to do.
So in terms of recruitment, we know this is a big problem with local police, IMPD. They're in a big recruitment drive right now, but they're short on numbers. How is it at the state level?
It's the same, and I want to give a shout out to IMPD for the work that they do in the city of Indianapolis. I'm proud to stand with them. In regards to recruiting statewide, we have 10 people in our current recruit school. Normally we have 45 or 50, sometimes 65 or 70. We are significantly down. So we're not going to blame somebody else for that. We're trying to take some responsibility and
what can we
retool how we recruit. How do we maintain and keep people throughout the course of a career? And I hope that starts to climb out of this, because the vast majority of people are good and support us.
I watch a lot of these on patrol type shows, right? Like On Patrol Live. I know the Beech Grove Police are a part of it this year, and I got a lot of friends on the Beech Grove force. The one thing that I see more than anything else is that everybody wants to get mouthy with the police officer. It could be the easiest traffic stop, pull over, rolling stop. Everybody wants to argue and fight and bitch and complain to an officer.
That all changed with cameras, and I wasn't a big supporter of cameras, but I was wrong. I was flat out wrong, and the cameras have helped us a lot. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating experience as now that we've got them deployed and have 700,000 pieces of video of evidence. So, but you're right that the lack of that respect is very tenable, and everybody feels it.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Doug.
Thank you for talking about the Delphi situation, the press conferences, what's been right, what's been wrong, and where do we go from here?
Do you think that November 22nd we're going to see the unsealed affidavit?
I sense something's going to be coming there. I don't know. I've not talked to them.
Okay.
But yes, I sense that might be coming around. And by the way, next time you have me on, I want to talk about guns.
Yes, yes, we'll do that. I know you and our pal Guy Relford had a little disagreement on constitutional carry.
But since that time, we've talked and we've met, and
you guys are still friends.
Well, he's going to help us. He'll help us, and I appreciate the voice that you guys bring to it as well.
Absolutely.
Just because we disagreed doesn't mean we got to hate each other. So it's all good.
Wow, you mean we can be adults about stuff?
How about that?
What the hell?
Well, you guys aren't real good at that. Being adults.
I saw him in the hallway earlier. Doug goes, "We're not going to talk about Harvey Weinstein, are we?" It's like, no.
Thank you so much for taking the time and coming in.
It's a pleasure, guys. Thanks.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You know Warren Buffett's number one rule of investing, don't lose money. Buffett's second rule, go back and see Rule 1. Dan Dockage here for Crown Haven Advisors. The certified retirement income professionals at Crown Haven focus on this same wise advice. Don't lose money. If you're like most people with a retirement account already seeing negative returns, don't lose money will be difficult. However, Crown Haven clients will not have a negative year with their custom Retire Shield financial plan. Retire Shield accounts come with upfront bonuses of up to 10% or more, which will never show any market losses no matter how far the market falls. Plus, provide you planned income as long as you're alive. To learn more, visit crownhaven.com or Google Crown Haven Advisors Indiana for a relationship visit and your own free Retire Shield. I'm telling you, Crown Haven is working for me. They can work for you. Give them a call today at 765-522-7233. Tell them Dan sent you to Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
The fun part is planning for retirement. The not so fun part is trying to navigate a crazy stock market, 401ks, your kids' college saving plans. You got to figure out what your retirement looks like. You got to have a clear vision and a clear goal, and that's where the Singer Financial team comes in.
What do you want the next 15, 20 years of your life to look like? Let the Singer Financial Group come up with a plan for you so your dreams can become a reality. Whatever your vision of retirement is, the Singer Financial Group, located in Central Indy in Brownsburg, they will customize a plan just for you. But you have to reach out to them. 317-852-9153. That's 852-9153, or go to singerfinancialgroup.com. Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LL3, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Introducing Spectrum One. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits per second, advanced Wi-Fi with best-in-class security and privacy, Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data plus nationwide 5G. Get it all with Spectrum One. Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com or a Spectrum store today. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A Russian missile off course, 39 degrees, cloudy on Monument Circle. Radar shows some rain to the east. Lows to the 30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:32. While attacking energy facilities in Ukraine, Russian missiles landed in Poland, killing 2 people.
According to a senior U.S. official and according to reports on the ground, a Russian missile fired from somewhere off of Ukraine went into Ukraine airspace, but then veered into eastern Poland and actually hit a target, not a target, but a site in eastern Poland, killing 2 people.
Fox's Greg Palkett. Article 5 of NATO says an attack on a NATO country or ally will elicit a response. The U.S. is still trying to confirm those missile reports. They do not want to speculate. According to several reports, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has won Republican support to become Speaker of the House after a vote today. Control of the House has not been determined yet, but Republicans will likely win it. Donald Trump is planning to make an announcement tonight. Many believe the former president will announce another run for office. You can hear what he has to say live on WIBC at 9. What would you think about Trump running again?
I honestly lean more DeSantis because I feel like I'm tired of just old people.
The name calling, the vitriol, is just enough people want to
rise above it. I voted for the guy twice.
Going to announce his presidency tonight. I think it's a good thing.
Several airline companies have been fined at tens of millions of dollars. Donnie Burgess has more.
Transportation Secretary and former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg says the amount of cancellations and delays this summer were ridiculous. He tells Lester Holt with NBC News he wants airlines like Frontier to shape up.
I've urged the airlines to make sure that their schedules are realistic, to move forward on increasing their staffing. But I do think as we get ready for the Thanksgiving and then the winter holiday travel season, we're not out of the woods yet.
Buttigieg says several airline companies either took too long in refunding customers or refused to do so. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And with your stock report, the Dow was up 56 points to 33,592. The Nasdaq up 162 points to 11,358. And the S&P 500 also up today by 34 points to 3,991. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
You know what they're doing in Washington right now? They're talking about making cuts to your Social Security benefits. So the money you were counting on for retirement could end up being a lot less than you thought it would be. Hey, don't get shortchanged on Social Security. Don't do it. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free customized Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. Bill knows Social Security like the back of his hand, and this customized analysis doesn't cost a dime. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-805-4716. 317-805-4716. That's 317-805-4716.
With traffic at 4:35, here's Matt Bear.
Crash clear, northbound 65 US 52 in Lebanon. Traffic is still stopped from State Road 39, almost back to 267, about a mile shy of that. But we are moving. The crash is cleared. Southbound Keystone Parkway, the parkway up in Carmel, stopped from Carmel Drive past 106th Street. And then we're looking at the east side, southbound 465 stop and go before 70 down to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, a chance of light snow north of I-70, lows around 30 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered snow showers, especially in the afternoon. Little to no accumulation, highs in the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything? On 93 WIBC.
All right, Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I will run some stories by you. You break down all the information that's been presented, and you give us the verdict. Is this story anything or not? Is this anything? A 14-year-old from California was named the winner of this year's 3M Young Scientist Challenge for inventing headphones that diagnose and cure mid-ear infections.
How old is this person?
14.
Oh, man.
This could help prevent up to 60% of hearing loss in children. Here he is talking about it.
My project is Finson headphones, detecting and treating mid-ear infections using machine learning and phototherapy. Every year, over 10% of the world's population experiences a mid-ear infection. Furthermore, not everyone has access to a doctor, which makes it difficult to diagnose and treat a mid-ear infection. My solution to this mid-ear infection problem is to create a low-cost device that can both detect and treat a mid-ear infection. And to make this device easy for children to wear, I'm incorporating both the machine learning software and the Blue Light into headphones. This way you can listen to music while treating your ear infection.
Yeah, this is something. It's telling me that I'm not doing enough with my life.
No.
I mean, we have lewd nude dude in the news. This 14-year-old just created headphones that could cure hearing loss in children.
14.
Have you ever had, I don't think I've ever had a mid-ear infection. I'm not sure exactly what that is other than like a swimmer's ear or a regular infection. It's probably one of the most painful experiences I've ever had in my life. About 10, 15 years ago, when we went swimming in the lake, about a day later, I got something, flushing around in my ear canal. And then all of a sudden the next day, I'm in so much pain because my ear canal swole shut, like tighter than a snare drum. I mean, you couldn't get anything. So I went to the emergency room. It hurt so bad. They couldn't get any medicine down into the canal because my ear canal was swollen completely shut. They had to put like a candle wick like thing, kind of stick it down in between my skin, and then they were able to pour antibiotics down, and the wick soaked it up so it was able to get down. The ear infections are one of the worst pains as an adult I've ever had in my life.
Would you rather have an ear infection or a toothache?
Oh, toothache. Oh boy, that's a tough one. I've never had a really, really bad toothache. Have you?
When I was younger, I did, and it was horrible, and it had to be taken out. It was gross.
Yeah. So, I mean, it literally, I couldn't get out of bed for 3 or 4 days, just laying there, prescription of Oxy, which I couldn't take. It gave me crazy dreams, so they switched to Vicodin. And after that, after it was all over, is one of those times where I kind of came down off the regime of painkillers that you had to take. And I think I've told the story in the show. It felt like I had the flu for a couple of days. And I know what people kind of just a sliver of what it's like for a real addict that's taking like 40 or 50 painkillers a day to come off all that stuff. They're chasing the the ability not to feel sick. They're not chasing the high. So yeah, kudos to this 14-year-old for
14
helping cure hearing loss in kids.
Do you remember a science project that you did back in the day? Like this science project helped children get rid of hearing loss.
I remember like in 6th grade, I had me and a friend of mine, my buddy Davey in 6th grade. There was something with a light and a button and a battery. That's all it was.
What grade did you get?
Yeah, I think I got like a C or something. The guy I did it with was really smart, but I was really dumb and didn't really put any work into it. So yeah, it's like a wooden board and had like a red light on it and a little button that you pushed and a battery hooked up to it. Boom.
Nice. The two that I remember.
What did you do?
I did Are Kangaroos Flammable and Gravity, All of Its Glory. Now, that was a ripoff of a Simpsons bit because I totally forgot to do my project where I just took a ball, you drop it on the floor, behold, gravity in all its glory.
You couldn't have given you a good grade for that.
No, I got a D, but I passed because, I had something.
Yeah.
And turns out kangaroos, flammable. So who knew?
I don't get that. What does that mean?
It's a science project.
Okay.
I had to determine whether or not kangaroos could catch on fire. Is this anything? Some guy got tired of waiting for his McNuggets, so he went behind the counter and stole 20 of them.
Oh, no.
Here's how it went down.
Nuggets, please. There's 20 nuggets. Here you go. I get it myself. I got my 20 nuggets. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tired of waiting. I'll have to come back behind the counter and you got what? You got what? What?
Oh, he threw one of them at the employee.
What? I don't know the address, man. Where'd you got? 29?
Fast. I couldn't tell what they were doing at the end. I know he threw one of them at the employee. He should be arrested. And the fast food employee, really, truly the unsung hero of food service.
You throw a McNugget at somebody, it's go time.
These people, I don't know what it is about people that work in fast food and the drunk, obnoxious a-holes that come in late at night and think they could treat them like trash. They're probably making more than you, dude. Right now, I mean, you could go to some McDonald's, you can make $20 an hour. Are you kidding me?
Right.
So you're probably clearing your paycheck, buddy.
Is this anything? A YouTube prankster was arrested for disturbing the peace when filming a prank outside of a Dallas Apple store. The setup involves someone pretending to cut in line, then hitting that person with a shopping
like a
bag.
Fake fight?
Right. Here's the moment that the police intervened and arrested the YouTuber.
I was next.
Hold on, bro. Hey, it's okay.
I was next. I was next.
Why are you hitting me?
I was next.
It doesn't matter. You don't get to hit people.
Why?
Because, do you know him?
I definitely don't know him.
So why are you hitting him?
Because he jumped in front of me.
Where's your wallet?
Nah, we're just joking with you. It's a video. We know him.
I don't care. There's no joking. You don't joke like that.
How we don't joke? We're joking. We know each other. Go ahead, sir.
I know you're dumb videos. This ain't the place for it.
Oh boy, this guy needs to take a page out of the 14-year-old kid's science challenge and invent and do something with his life. A YouTube star, another YouTube prankster trying to cause a ruckus.
Can you describe the ruckus?
It sounded like, how original. We're going to pretend to fight and get it on videotape.
When I become the president, they're going to Guantanamo. We're going to open up Guantanamo again. We're going to make it fully functional. You're going to go down there, and we may forget the key.
You know, some of these YouTube guys make tens of millions of dollars a year.
Oh, yeah.
My son watches Mr. Beast all the time. I get that dude's so filthy rich, and it's just by producing content. And it started really small, and now he's like owns warehouses where he, just nothing but produce content for YouTube all the way. And he's the guy that gives away like $1 million or something like that to somebody. Like they have these different challenges they do. I mean, that's just one example, but this YouTube prankster, I guarantee you, making squat.
When we were growing up, like if you ask a little kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an athlete. I want to be a
police officer,
firefighter, a doctor. Now kids want to be a YouTube star.
No.
They want to go viral on YouTube. That's it. When we come back, we've got the U.S. men's soccer team going pretty woke over at the World Cup. We've got that and more. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The children's music and dance teacher who couldn't cha-cha.
I was always on my feet. It was just so painful.
Elisa couldn't let her students down, so she stepped up and went to the Good Feet store for personally fitted arch supports.
I would work an entire day, and my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. That was when I knew, wow, these are different.
But the really good part?
It's good to be dancing together again.
Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come in for a free fitting, no appointment needed. The Good Feet store, in the north, near Keystone at the Crossing or in Greenwood.
Mark Diedel's the only real estate agent I'd trust to sell my home. Richard and Marilyn in Indianapolis trusted Mark Dietel. They heard about Mark Dietel on our show. It was time for them to downsize and move into a place with some help, and the best price was their focus to pay for the higher cost of assisted living. Mark Dietel and his team listened. They cared about their needs, and the home sold in a few weeks, the price they needed, quick and easy.
Mark Dietel is the man. Mark Dietel is the only real estate agent that we trust here on the Hammer and Nigel Show to do things right and to give you the best deal. Mark Dietel's the only real estate agent that I know that guarantees multiple offers in 3 days at full market value, or he will list it for free. Call Mark Dietel right now, 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
You need more than fast internet. You need ultra-fast Xfinity internet that checks all the boxes. Ultra-fast internet that's strong enough to power a house full of devices? Check. Ultra-fast internet that's also reliable? Check. Whew. Ultra-fast internet with unlimited data included, so you can do more of what you love online? With smarter network security? All starting at way less than you think? Check, check, check. That's internet that checks all the boxes. That's Xfinity. Get an amazing value on Xfinity internet with unlimited data included. Switch for $55 a month for 12 months. There's no annual contract required, so it's risk-free. And there are no equipment fees. Plus, activate advanced security free with the XFi Gateway. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. New fast internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After 12 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Hammer and Nigel here for American Standard Heating and Air. The one thing you don't want to be worried about this winter is your furnace. So, if you're working with a well-trained independent American Standard dealer, you're going to have plenty of time to worry about the other things in life and not your furnace. And one of those fantastic independent American Standard dealers in Central Indy is...
Oh, how about our good friends at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville? Danny Reinhardt started Reinhardt Heating and Cooling over 35 years ago. They're one of the longest tenured American Standard dealers in all of Central Indy. Danny's sons and daughter are among the well-trained experts that are on staff at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling serve Hendricks and the surrounding counties. Make sure that furnace is safe and ready. Could be a cold winter. And get that indoor air quality service taken care of, too. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville, 745-4526. That's 745-4526. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers. E-waste piling up? Visit tech-recyclers.com.
It's B Windows Black Friday sale.
52% discount plus manufacturer's rebates and no interest, no payments for 18 months.
Trust me.
All right, we've got some results in the House Republican voting, which is taking place today. We'll reset that right after Matt Baird tells us about the roads.
We have stopped traffic downtown, northbound 65, 70 on the ramp to Washington Street, semi-crash blocking the left lane. Traffic stop back to the south split. Southbound Keystone Parkway stopped from Carmel Drive almost to 96th Street. Also backing up US 31 in those southbound lanes to 465 from 116th Street. Looking at northbound 65 to Lebanon, still stop and go after 267 up to 52 because of an earlier crash and closure that is cleared. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% discount plus manufacturer's rebates. No payments, no interest for 18 months. BWindow.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, we got a lot of stuff going on here this afternoon. It's 39 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Keeping an eye on what's happening. Russia fired some missiles and missed its target, and 2 missiles landed in Poland.
Which is NATO, and they're Article 5, and everybody's freaking out right now. So it's a big story. I don't think it was on purpose. It doesn't look like, unless maybe Putin's testing the waters to see how far everybody will go if he gets it. But it looks like this was headed towards.
They're firing at Ukraine.
Russia.
Yeah,
they're firing at Ukraine. I think a couple of missiles went and they hit like grain drying bins or something like that. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that.
Also, the House Republicans getting together today for their voting. Kevin McCarthy has been selected as the nominee for the Speaker of the House, assuming the Republicans officially clinch it. NBC's called it for the Republicans. They're the only ones.
But will he have enough votes come January 3rd?
Right. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying no.
Is he too linked to Trump? I think they want to make some changes.
The Republican majority leader will be Steve Scalise, and the majority whip for the 118th Congress will be Tom Emmer. I know Jim Banks really wanted that job, the representative of Indiana. He has not been selected for that. And the conference chair will be Elise Stefanik of New York. So that's what's going on, keeping our eye on a lot of different stories going on here today, Nige.
USA are starting the World Cup this weekend. I think November 20th.
To take on Wales,
yeah,
right?
Wales. Actually, November 21st, USA, Wales.
The loser has to keep Prince Harry.
Right, exactly. So the United States is actually making a statement at the World Cup. They've redesigned their crest with the rainbow colors to show solidarity with the LGBTQ community.
Now the crest is like their logo, right?
Right, and it's just like USA colors. Like it's either red, white, and blue or all red, but now it's like the colors of the rainbow. Which, you know what? Okay, that's fine. But Qatar has, like, if you're going to protest, don't go. If you want to really protest Qatar, I mean, homosexuality is illegal in Qatar. I mean, you could, if you're under Sharia law, you could be put to death. If that's a death penalty for Muslims under Sharia law, though. So I guess it's gesture of some sort, but you want to make a real stink about it, drop out.
This is the head coach of the U.S. men's soccer team.
Yeah, we've been talking to the team for the last 18 months about Qatar, about some social issues in Qatar, and we think it's important. Like wherever, I think that when we are on the world stage and we are in a venue like Qatar, it's important to bring awareness to these issues, and that's what Be the Change is about. It's not just stateside that we want to bring attention to social issues. It's also abroad.
I mean, it's more than he's making it sound like this is a social, like this is just some kind of thing. Like the true oppression, when you're throwing around the word oppression, which is thrown around way too loosely in the United States, you go to a place like Qatar and you're a dude and you're a homosexual, you're going to get thrown in prison, possibility of the death penalty. So fine, change your crest to the rainbow colors, but if you really want to gain attention, drop out. Don't play. I'm not going to play in this place where they put gays in jail.
Here's what I want to see happen.
I think it's meaningless.
After every goal, I want to see a couple dudes make out on the U.S. soccer team. If you're going to do it, do it. Go big or go home. Really show Qatar who's boss. If you score a goal, we're going to get some It's Raining Men action. Let's make that happen. If you want to go woke, go for the jugular, man. Let's see what happens. And by the way, at Qatar, they're telling people you're not allowed to drink beer and you're not allowed to have relations unless you're married.
It doesn't sound very fun over there.
No.
To me.
And the fact that they got the host the World Cup tells you everything you need to know. Money talks and BS walks. They paid a blank ton to have the World Cup there, but everybody's going to be miserable that goes. You're going to try to tell the German soccer team they're not allowed to drink? Good luck with that. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The next time you visit your healthcare provider, we'll ask you about your race, ethnicity, and preferred language. Why do we ask? We ask because we care. Providing you with the highest level of care requires that we know all we can about you. Not only will this help us take better care of you, it will also help us learn more about our community and the additional services we can provide to keep Indiana as healthy as possible. This message is brought to you by Indiana University Health, Eskenazi Health, and Community Health Network.
With inflation on the rise, you may be charging more to your credit card. But be careful. That increased debt can cause your credit score to suffer.
Don't get stuck with a low credit score and a mountain of high-interest credit card debt. Call Golden Oak Lending now.
Refinance with our low rates to wipe out your high-interest credit card debt and put extra cash in your pocket. Call 317-706-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
A surprise proposal under the stars. A diamond ring symbolizing your love. A promise to inspire, respect, and love one another. Visit Chain Company to create a treasure that will hold meaning forever. We design our engagement rings in-house, so any style you choose will be a unique creation. We know a ring comes to life when it's set with a center stone that speaks to you. Chain Company offers the largest selection of center stones, natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, as well as natural gemstones, including rubies, sapphires, peach morganite, aquamarine, and amethyst. We sell our center stones loose, so you can compare stones side by side and select the one that's right for you, or select a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. A jewelry consultant will work with you to help you maximize your budget. Our free lifetime warranty even covers the center stone. Make this the holiday you'll both treasure forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Is the grind of living paycheck to paycheck starting to wear you down? Stressed out about paying the bills? Find out why so many Americans are getting relief with a simple cash-out refinance. Imagine paying off all your credit cards, getting a month or two ahead on the bills, and still having some cash in the bank. That can all be a reality sooner than you think with our 10-day closing guarantee. How much cash can you get? Let's find out now. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Smart homeowners know that proper maintenance of their home's heater can save a bundle in the long run. Trust our comfort specialists at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to keep your heater running right. Whether you've got a furnace, heat pump, boiler, or any other type of heating system, a proactive tune-up can help keep you comfortable. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com. We won't leave you waiting. Sing it with me.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime. Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, you might find out what was in Richard Allen's charging documents. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Ukraine's president is calling for action. Lisa Brady, Fox News. This after reports of Russian missiles landing in Poland, a NATO member and Ukraine's neighbor. Russia denies it, and the Pentagon says it can't confirm the reports at this point. But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russian missiles have struck Poland, calling it a significant escalation of Russia's war in Ukraine. Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder telling reporters,
I can tell you that we don't have any information at this time to corroborate those reports. And are looking into this further. And so when we do have an update to provide, we'll be sure to do so.
But he reiterates the U.S. commitment to defend every inch of NATO territory. NATO is also investigating the reports in Poland. The White House says President Biden has been briefed on all of this, and he spoke a short time ago with Poland's leader from Indonesia, where he's attending the G20 summit. Meantime, President Biden asking Congress for more than $37 billion in emergency aid to Ukraine, much of it for defense support. That request would be part of a larger package to fund the government after the current stopgap bill expires next month. President Biden also asking for more than $9 billion in COVID funding ahead of a possible winter surge. In January, Republicans hope to be in control of the House, and they're backing Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to be House Speaker. But it wasn't unanimous.
House Republicans voted to nominate McCarthy to the top spot in a closed-door secret ballot vote. But Arizona Republican Andy Biggs won a few dozen defectors. McCarthy prevailed 188 to 31. Members of the conservative House Freedom Caucus have withheld support for McCarthy, insisting first on more influence in the rules and committee process. It will take an outright House majority, 218 votes, to become Speaker on January 3rd.
Fox's Jared Halpern on the Hill. In the Senate, Florida Republican Rick Scott planning to challenge Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You might know why he was arrested. 38 degrees, cloudy with a mostly clear radar in Indianapolis. The low falls to 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for the Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:02. You may soon know why state police charged Richard Allen with the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter tells WIBC's Hammer and Nigel that he believes releasing the charging documents would not jeopardize the case.
This case is unlike any that I've seen in almost a 40-year career.
So there are so many different tentacles to this. It's very complex.
Carter said he doubts the police sources and some news media stories are actually a part of the core investigative team. A man accused of robbing a Subway and PetSmart at gunpoint was arrested by Indy Metro Police November 9th. Officers say James Bennett robbed a Subway off Washington Street on the west side, and the PetSmart was also on Washington Street but east of Indianapolis. IMPD was able to make the arrest thanks to security cameras and witnesses. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett will speak tonight at 6 about his political future. He's been considering running for a third term, but has admitted in the past that he's not sure about it just yet. Hogsett has been Indy's mayor since 2016. Carmel City Councilor Sue Finkham says she plans on running for mayor of Carmel. She's expected to be one of several candidates running to replace current Mayor Jim Brainerd, who already announced he won't seek re-election in 2023. Several airline companies have been fined millions by the Department of Transportation for cancellations, delays, and slow refunds. Transportation Secretary and former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg says they're keeping an eye on airlines.
There is a lot of catching up to do in the system as it works its way through some of the profound disruptions that took place during the pandemic. I think we're on the right track, but there's more to do.
He tells Lester Holt with NBC News that staffing shortages were not a factor in those delays and cancellations, despite what some airlines may claim. It's that time of the year to pack an emergency kit and check your tires because snow and ice on the roads. You should also keep a safe distance from that car ahead of you.
You don't want to slam on your brakes. If your car begins to skid, you want to continue to steer in the direction of you want your car to go. But, increasing that following distance is going to give you more time to react in those less than ideal driving conditions.
Lisa Wall with Hoosier Motor Club. Never tailgate, she says, since you never know where a patch of ice might be. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Hopefully, you'll never have a house or business fire. But if you do, hopefully, you'll never forget this name, Michaelis. They can be there before that lump in your throat goes away. In fact, they're the reason it goes away. Over 35 years of helping people recover from faulty wiring, lightning strikes, or that unattended pot of pasta on the stove. Michaelis crews often roll in before the fire hoses are rolled up. Their proven process of water extraction, smoke removal, and content storage will calm your nerves. Then their talented craftsmen will rebuild your home and restore your spirits. That starts by being your advocate with the insurance company. You'll find Michaelis doesn't just feel for you, they work for you. Water, storms, fire, and foundations. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Baer?
Harrison looking at downtown into, northbound 6570 right before the north split closure. We have a crash involves a semi, and the left lane of the exit ramp to Washington Street is blocked. We are backed up to the south split. And then eastbound 70 stop and go to downtown from Harding Street to Meridian, Illinois. Northbound 65 clearing up in Lebanon. Still slow from State Road 39 to US 52 because of an earlier crash. And south side pockets of stop and go eastbound 465 from Man over to Emerson. Traffic sponsored by Lowe's. Where can you start holiday shopping? Now for a season full of savings. Lowe's actually. Check back daily for deals during Black Friday and save now on appliances at Lowe's. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, a chance of light snow north of I-70, lows around 30 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered snow showers, especially in the afternoon. Little to no accumulation, highs in the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
So not only is Donald Trump making some big announcement tonight, which we will air on
He's going to be
93.
coming back to Twitter.
Or was that what it is? He's
That's the
announcing.
announcement. I have no idea.
At 9 p.m. we'll do we'll air that live. Also here locally, Boss Hogsett announcing whether or not he's going to run for a third term here in about an hour? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he's doing some event, of course, at a place where drinks are flowing, and he sent an email blast out to people that had signed up for his messaging, and said that you can make a donation to Hogsett for Indianapolis for $10, $20 or $50, $100, whatever it is. So I kind of believe he's throwing his hat in the ring one more time for round number 3 here.
So much for saying that he was only for 2 terms.
Right.
He's in favor of term limits for this kind of role for mayor.
Somebody got a little too cocky thinking they were going to get gig with the Biden administration and never came to be. So, well, hell, I guess I better run for the mayor again.
My dad called me earlier, and he said he's going to try to go down there and heckle him.
Ask him where he was at those 2 nights of riots. It'd be my dad and your dad as being the only 2 people that have done it.
That's what my dad said. He goes, I'm not letting Hammer's dad get all the glory here. I want to go down there and outdo Hammer's dad. His slogan was we can't survive another 4 years under Hogsett. That's what he wants to say.
Okay.
But I go, Dad, yeah, you need to ask where he was. And my dad, like the only person that doesn't like him more than your dad is probably my dad.
Oh, I love it.
He's a Marion County resident. My dad lives downtown. Residents affected by the riots.
We need to get our dads in here to do a show one day. Dude, that would be a blast. Having the old men in here just dropping F-bombs and swearing and drinking, and that'd be real fun. So in honor of Boss Hogsett making his announcement here in about an hour or so, let's take a trip down memory lane with great moments in Boss Hogsett history. This was during his State of the City speech last year, where he clearly plagiarized Al Pacino's speech in the movie Scent of a Woman.
The last year, our community has been at a crossroads. Now here's Charlie. He's come to the crossroads. We've chosen the right path. He has chosen a path. It's the right path. It is a path of preservation that leads to character. It's a path made of principle that leads to character. And it is indeed in that character that we enjoy a bright future. It's a valuable future. It is the right path. Protect it. Embrace it. Protect it. Embrace it. It will not let you down. It's going to make you proud one day. I promise you. I promise you.
It's the same damn speech!
Boy, that is embarrassing.
Completely ripped it off from Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino. 100%.
That's a great speech from Pacino. I mean, I can understand why he used it.
Can I write in Al Pacino as the mayor of Indianapolis next election?
Oh, that is cringy. Wow.
Earlier today, the Homeland Security Secretary, Mayorkas, had a big hearing before the Homeland Security Committee.
He needs to be impeached.
Did not go well. But again, nothing's going to happen to this guy. But here is one representative, Pfluger, ripping Mayorkas.
Answer the question. How many of the 600,000 people? No, we have 2 minutes left.
I know, but I feel compelled to.
You don't have the time to do that. I want to know how many of the 600,000 people match the terror watch list.
Well, Congressman, by definition, they are gotaways.
Okay, so you don't know. And so how can you say that the border is secure? It's the American people aren't buying it. We're not buying it because the deaths that are happening in our communities, I've invited you to come with me. I was in Del Rio the day before you got there when the 15,000 Haitians were there. I've been to El Paso. I've been to the Rio Grande Valley. You're going to hear more on that later.
I mean, there's a lot of zeros in the Biden administration, but this Mayorkas cat may be the biggest one.
Just flat out saying, no, the border's secure. Yeah, border's secure. While the representative was saying, no, 800,000 gotaways. He's got a bunch of these people on the terror list that were captured, and then who knows how many were on that list that got away. I mean, they weren't captured. That means we don't know where they're at in this country.
Right. No idea.
They've not been processed. They didn't cross illegally and were summoned to come back to a court date. They're just gone.
No idea.
800,000.
Friend of the show, Kat Kammick, the representative from the state of Florida, also had a good time tearing up Mayorkas.
But today, in fiscal year 22, you have now released over 1.4 million illegals into the United States. And my question to you now is, can you guarantee that none of those people have criminal records?
This enforcement work is not fun, Congresswoman. This is a noble profession in which people risk their lives to conduct it. And you know that very well.
All the righteous indignation. Here we go. So I want to make sure that you understand that per your own data and statistics, they have pointed out that, in fact, you hold the record as Secretary of Homeland Security for the most encounters and subsequent releases into the United States in history. Your own former boss, Secretary Jay Johnson, said that 1,000 a day is considered a crisis. Today, we're counting 7,000 a day. The facts and figures make the point for me. So is the border secure based on your feelings or facts?
That's an absolute dressing down if I've ever heard one.
It is, but man, I'm so cynical now because I know nothing's going to happen to this dude. He could literally be sitting up there with a clown suit on, big red nose, a red fluffy wig, and just talking about his favorite crayon colors, and nothing is going to happen to this guy. All these hearings, it's fun. There's great audio. I love it when people get ripped right to their face.
That's about it.
Nothing's going to happen. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
Northbound 6570 at the downtown crash on the Washington Street exit, left lane blocked as traffic backed up past Fletcher Avenue. And then we see eastbound 465 on the south side, pockets of stop and go from Man Road over to Emerson. Crash south side, Sherman Drive south of Prospect. That's an orange. Somebody's hurt, could be trapped inside a vehicle. Also a wreck Shadeland Avenue north of 46 and a crash northbound 65 between 252 and 44 in Franklin. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Shop Tempur-Pedic and save up to $500 on select adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 instant gift good towards sleep accessories. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up next, we're playing the feud, baby.
Oh, yeah.
We've got all of the haters of Jeff Saturday getting that Colts job against Pat McAfee.
Love it.
McAfee taking on all of them. We've got some great audio for you coming up. Right now, it's 38 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
It was another hot summer day in Evansville, Indiana. My grandmother unfolded the newspaper she had just picked up from her front stoop. A cold shiver ran down her spine. Moms and dads across America knew this was coming, but it still took her breath away. It was June 6, 1944. The headline read, Allies Invade France. This is Brian Robert Singer with Singer Financial. That front page from the Evansville Courier hangs in my office hallway beside a picture of my Uncle Bob hugging Grandma's neck as he sits on her lap in his white dress Navy uniform before he shipped overseas. Both are laughing and cherishing the moment. I never met my Uncle Bob, but every time I look at that picture, I think about the good times I had with my grandparents growing up in Evansville. And I remember my grandmother telling me more than once, one of these days you'll turn around and wonder where all the years went. Grandma was right. Time flies. But the good news is, you're the pilot. Time can't be saved or stored, and nobody has more than 24 hours each day. You're in charge of how you use the hours, days, and years you have in your lifetime. Time is a gift that can only be exchanged for something else. Sleep, exercise, travel, dinner and conversation with friends and loved ones, attending your favorite sporting events, day trips, and shopping excursions with your granddaughter. The next time you ask yourself, where did the time go? You now have an answer to your own question. I exchanged it for something else. Grandma knew, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. If you're an aspiring retiree looking for a financial planning partner who understands that the why is more important than the how, I invite you to invest some time with us discussing your next chapter in life. Call 317-852-9153 or go to singerfinancialgroup.com to schedule a visit.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AU Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
This is Ryan again, owner of Plumbing Heating Paramedics. Paramedics know that timing is everything. And for us, mild weather this time of year means furnace sales are slower, which means you can take advantage of our best offer of the year. Now through December 10th, we are offering $2,500 off a new Trane furnace or air conditioner. A deal this strong allows us to keep our technicians busy and gives you the best deal of the year. Call to schedule your free home evaluation today or visit phparamedics.com for more details.
Who is running your business anyway? Let Teltex's local professionals help you with your business internet, VoIP, and remote work needs. For a free review, visit ttibiz.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Hammer, we've got a good old-fashioned feud going, a sports media feud, and I'm all about it. What do we got?
So you've got Pat McAfee against all of the Jeff Saturday haters.
And there was plenty to go around.
There's a lot of them. The key ones were Joe Thomas of the NFL Network, longtime Cleveland Browns left tackle. You had Kyle Brandt from the NFL Network, one of their commentators, and Bill Cowher, the iconic Steelers coach, going on CBS. So in case you missed it, and I don't know how you could, Jeff Saturday was named the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Yep. The only coaching experience he had was in high school, and that's it. No college, no pro, but he was a consultant. So this is what Bill Cowher had to say on CBS.
It's a disgrace to the coaching profession. And regardless how this thing plays out, what happened in Indianapolis is a travesty.
So that was Bill Cowher.
Travesty.
He wasn't alone. This was Browns legend Joe Thomas.
When you hire your drinking buddy to be the head coach of an NFL football team, it is one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Whoa. Disrespectful.
Whoa.
And then you had Kyle Brandt of the NFL Network.
I've gotten to meet Jeff Saturday a few times, and he was great, and I really respect him as a player and a media member. Isn't he embarrassed to take this job? At best, uncomfortable. For all the respect that he has for coaches and the coaches who have made him the player and the man that he is, isn't this awkward for him? Did he consider saying no just out of respect? Because I honestly, look, I think it is a huge backhand to every man and woman in the world in any coaching profession, in any coaching position, in college, in the pros, in high school. The coaching profession is something that drains you psychologically, that moves your family across the country and the world. And he got it because he's friends with the billionaire and was a good player on the team.
You know, I will say that's one of the things that crossed my mind when this first happened. I was like, man, just Saturday. Or like, did he ever consider maybe, you know, out of respect for the head coaching position in the NFL, did he ever consider maybe not? But then I thought, no, this has nothing to do with Jeff Saturday. This opportunity landed in his lap, and he took it.
And he played a long time in the league with that franchise, and maybe he thought he could make a difference. So with all of these haters, we turn to Pat McAfee, who went on his YouTube show and fired back.
It's been difficult not to just, kind of start diving into the hypocrisy of fucking losers on television who felt the need to be puppets. Oh, tell me what to say. Tell me how I should feel. You're putting me on your television. I don't have any actual thoughts of my own.
So he's calling all these guys puppets for basically going with the talking points that you don't have the experience. This is a travesty. And then he goes a little deeper.
Bill Cowher goes on CBS. Bill Cowher, who was hired at the age of 34 to become the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. And Bill Cowher, a man who I am a fan of, William Cowher did a lot of great things for Pittsburgh. He got hired at 34 in his hometown to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if he maybe caught a bunch of fire whenever he got hired for not earning and deserving the job that he took, and he now wants to project that onto Jeff Saturday, he can take that up with himself. Jeff Saturday couldn't have got hired at 34 to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts because Jeff Saturday was playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Bill Cowher got hired as a head coach at the age of 34. Jeff couldn't have done that because he was trying to win for the Indianapolis Colts. I just think the backlash was absurd. Jim Irsay's allowed to decide for his team that we don't want to go with the people that are in the building that have led us into this thing. I would like to go somewhere else for an interim head coaching job. I just think the conversation was so loud, and I'm incredibly happy for Jeff Saturday. Everybody was taking shots at a couple friends of mine in the organization, and they get a win. The other quarterback's crying at a press conference. I mean, this is a lot better than where we have been. So congrats to Jeff, and off to all you parrots and puppets on TV.
Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee Show on YouTube. Fired up, man.
Former Colts punter, Pat McAfee.
Yes.
I mean, this has nothing to do with Jeff Saturday. If you want to focus your ire on anybody, it's going to be the owner who made this decision, right? I mean, Jeff Saturday had an opportunity laying in his lap. Sometimes that's the way it works in that business. Sometimes the opportunities land in our lap in this business.
Right. If somebody came up to you, Nigel, and said, hey, you want to be the president of the United States for a couple days? Sure. Why not?
For a couple days. Yeah, at the very
for
least.
An interim status like Jeff Saturday is.
Sure.
And the thing about Joe Thomas of the Browns, a couple years ago, he came on Pat's show, and this is when the Browns were looking for a coach, and he said he'd consider it. So shut up, you hypocrite.
All right, we got time for some booze news here.
Let's do it.
You set him up, and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1-1.
We are buried booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze News, Booze News. Time for Booze News. You got your bingo card ready on this one?
Okay, I got my bingo card out. Let's go.
An Arizona man was arrested for DUI.
Okay.
For allegedly driving high on meth.
Meth, okay.
And with an injured owl inside of his vehicle.
I don't have owl on my card.
He bought the owl illegally from someone at a gas station.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't you not have an owl at a gas station?
Thank goodness the owl is now being taken care of by Liberty Wildlife. Here's a biologist talking about Mason Stapley's DUI arrest and what's happening with the owl that he purchased at a gas station.
I think that she had gotten knocked around or jostled somehow in that tumultuous night that she had. The officer handled it like a pro, you know. He did the right thing, got it to safety, so he has a really good story to take home and tell his family. It brought home two different illegal points. No, you can't own wildlife, and no, don't do drugs.
And don't buy owls at gas stations.
Do they sell those at those big Buc-ee's truck stop gas stations, like down in the South and Texas, where you can get homemade fudge and beef jerky and maybe an owl?
An owl in a cage. So the owl is currently in a rehabilitation program, working towards hopefully being released back into the wild. That's the good news for this update. But yeah, if you didn't have owl and gas station and meth and DUI on your bingo card, you lost.
Right. You're not even playing the game then. Have you ever been to one of those big Buc-ee's truck stops?
No, but I've been to big giant truck stops before, just not those Buc-ee's things that you're talking about.
I'm excited to go. Does that make me a hillbilly?
Yes, absolutely.
Because when we go down to Tennessee coming up later in the year, when we go down to Gatlinburg and get into the mountains, they've got a new Buc-ee's on the way in Kentucky, and I'm excited to see it.
Well, more power to you, man. I'm excited for you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, the wealthiest man in the world is planning on giving away his fortune to charity. Jeff Bezos. Wait a minute. I thought Elon Musk was the richest guy in the world.
That's what I thought. Maybe they go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because Bezos' wife took quite a bit, didn't she? Or did they have a deal?
No, she took half. She took half. But in an interview with CNN, Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder, said he's going to give away the bulk of his $124 billion after he dies to fight climate change and support people that could unify humanity in the face of deep social and political division.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Seems like only yesterday, Nigel, when Amazon was trying to find a location for that second corporate headquarters,
Yeah.
and they put out a list of cities that made the cut,
Yep.
and Indianapolis was one of those cities, and you and I started a letter-writing campaign
right.
talking about why Indianapolis was better than some of the other cities on the list. Dear Jeff Bezos, thanks so much for making our city, Indianapolis, a finalist for your second corporate headquarters. We think Indy is a great choice, much better than some of the other cities on your list, like Miami. Did you know that Miami is the official guys that wear too much cologne capital of the world? Here's some more info on Miami. The city's chief imported good is cocaine. Oh, and the city's chief exported good is cocaine. Oh, okay. Plus,
I didn't know
on
that.
really hot days, you can smell the corpse of Fidel Castro wafting over from Cuba. Oh, take a big whiff. Here's some news from the future. Amazon selects Miami for their second corporate headquarters. Here's more news from the future. Hurricane Kenny has destroyed Amazon's second headquarters in Miami. $5 billion in damage, 50,000 employees dead. Oh no! Miami is a confusing city. The breasts on their women? Fake. But the rafts arriving on shore carrying 8 or 9 defecting Cubans.
Yep.
Very real. Very real. And you have to ask yourself this. If Miami was such a great place, why did LeBron James leave it to go back to Cleveland? Think of your female employees. Preliminary numbers have shown that every one of your female employees will eventually be impregnated by Don Johnson, Vanilla Ice, or Dan Marino. Dan, do you want that on your conscience? Thanks so much for your time. Sincerely, the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I'm surprised the letter campaign didn't work.
I can't believe we didn't get that corporate headquarters. Tuesdays with Tony. Tony Katz next. Right now, the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
It's complicated. Cloudy, 37 degrees on Monument Circle. Not much on the radar. Slight chance for rain. Maybe some snow tonight with a low of 31. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. You're probably familiar with the Delphi case and have heard about the man arrested, Richard Allen.
This case is unlike any that I've seen in almost a 40-year career. So there are so many different tentacles to this. It's very complex.
State Police Superintendent Doug Carter talking to WIBC's Hammer and Nigel. Allen's charging documents haven't been released to the public yet, but that may change by the end of the month. A Russian missile landed in Poland today, killing 2 people, according to several reports. The State Department is trying to confirm those.
I'm just not going to try and speculate or try and get in the mind of President Putin or his intentions.
Principal Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel spoke with reporters after reports say the missile landed in eastern Poland near the border with Ukraine. Former President Donald Trump is expected to make an announcement from Mar-a-Lago tonight at 9. Many believe he may be announcing another run for president. You'll hear it live here on WIBC. Senate Republicans are holding their elections for conference leadership positions after the midterm. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell seems confident that his position won't change.
The outcome is pretty clear. I want to repeat again, I have the votes. I will be elected. The only issue is whether we do it sooner or later.
Senator McConnell received a challenge from Florida Republican Rick Scott, but McConnell believes he has the votes. People in northern Indiana could get snow today, but less is expected here in central Indiana.
Mainly just going to be just enough lift in the atmosphere and just enough moisture for some periodic light snow, but it really won't amount to too much down this way.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says don't expect very much snow, if any, in and around the Circle City. Indiana Senator Todd Young spoke on the Senate floor about a Hoosier Marine Monday.
Without citizens like Corporal Forney, there is no America.
Corporal Alvin Forney was killed in action in Vietnam in 1965 at the age of 22. Young said it's important to remember all veterans and celebrate their service to the country. With traffic at 531, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, heading into downtown, northbound 6570, still sweeping up this semi-crash, blocking the left lane of the exit ramp to Washington. And we have a delay back to Fletcher Avenue. Inbound 65, grinded from 29th Street to the north split. Eastbound 70 to downtown, stop and go from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. And on the east side, southbound 465, jams before 70 down to Arlington. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, a chance of light snow north of I-70, lows around 30 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered snow showers, especially in the afternoon. Little to no accumulation, highs in the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, Tony! Hey, Tony! Hey!
Pretty boy, Tony.
It's Tuesday with Tony Katz on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Don't want to keep Tony waiting.
My name is Nigel. Hammer's here, hooking up live with Tony Katz for Tuesdays with Tony. We are a week out from midterm elections. The dust has settled, or maybe not settled so much, Tony. And I'm wondering, what are the major takeaways we've seen over the past couple of days since the midterms?
I don't know what the number one thing to think of this election is, because there is no number one thing to think.
Well, why was there no red wave? Why do you think, I mean, everybody, including me, were you ever a red wave guy? It was like kind of like the 2020 election. You go to bed thinking Trump's got this in the bag, and then you wake up the next morning and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, something else happened.
I will tell you that I never used the term red wave, and I was actually, the day of the election, I was on Newsmax saying I'm not a fan of the term. I did expect Republicans to have a much better showing in the House, and I did expect Republicans to pull out these Senate races. I think that candidate quality conversation is fine, except it's not the answer to say, well, you Republicans just don't have quality candidates. Katie Hobbs in Arizona is not quality. John Fetterman in Pennsylvania is not quality. This isn't a debate that I'm having with anybody. These are the facts. Let me state also that Kathy Hochul in New York, the governor, is not quality. So we shouldn't be, engaging this one way. That's not serious. Is it indeed the idea that, well, there's a level of Trump fatigue, and the problem with some candidates is they were looking backwards and you need to look forwards? It's certainly possible. Is there the idea that what people wanted was just not one more thing to be different in their lives, even though they don't like Biden, even though crime is high, even though inflation is high? Could we just leave everything the way it is just for a little while longer? That's also possible. Were people seen as just, you know what, I don't like what I'm seeing from the country, but oh, do I hate these people? Man, do I not like that Carrie Lake, or man, do I not like that so-and-so? That's possible too. But then you take a look at the fact that in a state like Arizona, where Carrie Lake may very well have lost this thing, although there may be a recount, and you have the attorney general candidate and some others who have lost by very small margins. There might be some recounts. You realize that Republicans took 6 of the 9 congressional seats. They picked up seats in Arizona. You take a look at the fact that they still control the state house and the Senate there in the state of Arizona. So what to make of it all? You take a look at Ron Johnson, the senator Republican from Wisconsin. He was trailing Mandela Barnes until he wasn't, and that held. So what are we discussing here? In Nevada, you have Catherine Cortez Masto, the senator, pulling it out against Adam Laxalt, but Joe Lombardo, the sheriff of Clark County, is your next governor, defeating the incumbent Democrat. What to make of it all? Bourbon is delicious. That's what to make of it all.
So if you're looking at this from a local perspective, a lot of governor races, local house races, those went to the Republicans. But national races, again, I think the Democrats are just so much better at capturing the early vote. So do the Republicans at a national level, Tony, have to get better at early voting? Do they need to change strategy? Do they need to change leadership?
Yes. Now what?
All right. Which leader needs to be replaced the most? Okay. Whether it's McCarthy, whether it's Mitch McConnell, Ronna McDaniel, who needs to go the most?
Well, I start by first replacing Ronna McDaniel as the head of the RNC. This is not a debatable position in my view. And if she's kept, then this is a Republican Party that is really remarkably good, old boy. But the first part of your question was not about the replacement theory. It was I shouldn't use the term replacement theory. People are going to think I'm thinking something very, very different right there. The first part of your question, Hammer, give it to me again, because I forget.
So do the Republicans have to change strategy in regards to early voting?
So the answer is yes. And this, I mean, I've had people calling me, telling me, you're just not focusing on the key subjects, Tony. It's all about fraud. Go prove the fraud. You're not going to have an issue with me. And in Arizona, when it takes Maricopa County 6 days, 7 days to count votes, you're going to have people who believe it was fraud. That's never. You're never going to get them to think otherwise. But I oppose, for example, mail-in balloting. Of course I do. I'm a rational person. But if it's legal, Republicans have to do it, and they have to do ballot harvesting, and they have to do what's called curing of ballots, where someone forgot to date their ballot or someone forgot to sign it. You take it back to them and you get it done. This is what happens in Nevada. The Culinary Union has a massive machine that does this. Republicans have to match them because you cannot cede any ground to people who are fine with this kind of stuff. It's all wrong. I agree that it's wrong, but you have to fight this way until they realize they're not going to win elections by doing the thing that is clearly wrong and being like, well, the Republicans won't do it, and that's why we get ahead. You have to do everything. It is an all-of-the-above approach. You have to fight mail-in balloting everywhere across the country, and then you have to become experts at it until the left realizes they can't do this, and after all, it leads to opportunities for fraud. We shouldn't allow this, and then you get rid of it altogether.
And
all of the above.
What's going on in Arizona is just crazy. Should Carrie Lake concede if indeed she does lose?
If she loses, she should concede, but
we don't know. I mean,
it's gonna be. There's gonna be a recount. After the recount, that will be that.
Okay.
I've had people who have shared with me that there have been a lot of Republican lawyers and others on the ground looking at this thing. He would question highly, and as someone I spoke to today on air, John Gabriel, who writes for the Arizona Republican, is the editor of Ricochet.com. It would be something else if there was provable fraud, but of course, the provable part is always a question. But when you take 6-7 days to count ballots in a county, when countries of far greater populations can do it in 3 hours, it's embarrassing, and you're going to make people say, I don't believe you, and you're never going to change their minds.
Tuesdays with Tony Katz with us here on the Hammer and Nigel show. How big of a story is this cryptocurrency bankruptcy, possible funneling of money to Ukraine, which comes back to the United States? Am I a tinfoil hat guy for thinking something stinks here, Tony?
No. This is money laundering from beginning to end. And there are quite a few guys working a street corner in the concrete business in New York saying, how in the hell did I not think of this?
Okay, there it is.
You know, and we should be clear. The money came from the United States. And this is only part of the FTX horror show and this guy, Sam Bankman-Fried. The money went to Ukraine to help them. FTX was going to help the Ukrainians, so Ukraine invested their money into FTX to help grow it, and then FTX was giving millions of dollars to Democratic candidates while the head of this group, Sam Bankman-Fried, was advising Democrats on how to regulate cryptocurrency. This is money laundering. This is obscene, and anybody who's like, it doesn't matter, worthless, which of course would mean the ladies of The View and have just got a lot of other cable news outlets. This is seriously damaging, and this is damaging to Ukraine as well. But this was money laundering. That's what they got caught in. And if it wasn't for the fact that this guy was engaged in some very weird speculative investing by stealing money from his investors, from the people who were on the FTX platform, maybe we wouldn't even know it.
Does anybody know where that guy is?
He is right now in the Bahamas. His plan was to head to Dubai because they do not have extradition. But when he got to the Bahamas, the Bahamian government said, we'd like to keep an eye on you. And they are. Very much so. And right now, I think there's $1 billion that is unaccounted for.
Wow.
Billion. No one can find, which means this guy is sitting somewhere on $1 billion.
Tuesdays with Tony Katz here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Do you have the keg on ice? Do you have the keg tapped yet? Do you have the wings on the smoker for Trump's big announcement at 9 o'clock tonight, Tony?
I have a cigar and I have a bourbon, and I'm actually going to stay up and watch this thing because I love you. WIBC. I love you. But I'm telling you, Wednesday at about 3 p.m., I'm going to be super cranky and Daddy's going to need a nap because it's 2 weeks in a damn row. First, Trump, you have your announcements at 4:45 p.m.
That's right.
Some of us need some sleep.
Do you think it's going to be he's in it to win it tonight, or are we going to be let down? We're airing it tonight here on WIBC. Is the old man throwing his hat in the ring one more time?
So your argument is, does he have this thing to get all the press and then tease it for an announcement 3 months from now?
Sure. Bingo.
Yeah.
It's always possible. Always possible. I think that WIBC is doing the right thing in airing it because, I mean, it's the same. We talk about car accidents, so it's the same. It's the same basic math.
Can't not look.
Only good things can happen after you say we talk about car accidents.
So I think you make a great point in terms of what Trump is like and the concept of spectacle. But there is, to me, a possibility that he really feels he needs to clear out the field, and he really needs these people endorsing him. Now, let me give you two things that I'm watching. The first is Congressman Jim Banks of the Indiana 3rd, who has said he will be endorsing Trump. I have not been able to get in touch with his office. I want to understand what he's doing because I don't know why he's doing that. I like Banks a lot, and I understand that Banks has an affinity for Trump and the fighting spirit, and I appreciate that about the man. I don't understand the idea of endorsement. The other one I'm watching is Congressman Matt Gaetz, who put out a statement, I believe it was on Twitter, or someone did on Twitter, saying that he was supposed to go down to Florida for the announcement, but the weather isn't looking good, so he'll be with the president in spirit.
Interesting. All right.
Now drink and play your game and make your bets. Wait, what are the Vegas odds, Hammer? Where are you at?
I think right now the smart money is he's going to announce tonight to try to jump in front of an indictment in a couple months. So if I'm a betting man, I think he announces it tonight.
All right, I like that. What is the parlay between that and John Fetterman remembering where his office is in D.C.?
I think that's easy money right there. That's just giving money away.
I hope for his sake he does. I really do.
What's coming up on the big shows tomorrow?
Well, I think it's the 1-2 punch of not only the Donald Trump announcement, but the Joe Hogsett announcement. Is he or isn't he going to run for a third term as a bad mayor of Indianapolis? So that's where we're going to be.
He is on social media at Tony Katz. Facebook is Tony Katz Radio. TK, thank you.
Always.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
Who is running your business anyway? You may ask yourself this sometimes as the owner of a business or partner in a practice group. Take your internet and phone service. You've pivoted to do more business virtually. But when dealing with the hiccups that come with that, your managed service provider puts the burden on you, saying,
check your gateway and firewall.
Frustrated, you say that's what you need them for. But what you get back is,
okay, put in a ticket and I'll get back to you next week.
Maybe it's time to get control.
This is Troy Brasso, owner of Teltech Business. There's no consultant double talk or call center runaround with Teltech Business. We specialize in premium business internet and voice over IP for Central Indiana companies like Skilling Corporation and Tempe CPAs, and often at a price that's much less than what you're paying now. Give us a try.
Take control and start saving today. Let local professionals help you with your business, internet, and VoIP needs. Call Teltech Business for a free review today at 317-390-8585.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly,
It's officially a buyer's market, and home prices are dropping. Now is the perfect time to strike a deal that would have been unheard of a year ago. And don't let higher interest rates stop you from getting the home of your dreams. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we will refinance you with no fees anytime 6 months after your original closing. With home prices dropping and our new VIP refi program, now is the perfect time to buy a home. Thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
When your health diagnosis isn't going according to plan, you likely seek a second opinion. It's time you treat your wealth the same way. Get a new perspective, new information, a new diagnosis for your investments. Get a second opinion from a wealth planner at Edelman Financial Engines. Our dedicated planners offer personalized advice and are ready to talk one-on-one. Our approach is backed by institutional rigor. We model over 38,000 securities monthly, so we can better stress test your portfolio through thousands of scenarios. So, take a deep breath and take care of your wealth like you take care of your health. Get your complimentary wealth checkup today, where you can discuss your financial plan with a wealth planner. Call Edelman Financial Engines at 888-899-4450. That's 888-899-4450. Or visit efewealthplanners.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Switch to Xfinity and get one line of unlimited mobile and home internet together for $50 a month for 12 months. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Connect Internet customers only on one-year contract. Internet included for 12 months. New Xfinity mobile account required. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Xfinity post-pay internet required for Xfinity mobile. Additional devices extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of data usage. Offer ends 12/21/22.
You don't need a job platform, you need a hiring partner. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, on the west side, southbound 465, crash before Sam Jones Expressway. And two right lanes are blocked. Stop and go traffic back to 74, and then we are slow back to I-65. Crash cleanup continues northbound 65, 70 Washington Street, still slow to Fletcher Avenue. Inbound 65, jammed to 21st. And on the northwest side, northbound 465, locked up at 86. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. Don't miss the annual B-Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% discount plus manufacturer's rebates plus no payments, no interest for 18 months. B-Window.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
37 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
It's a Hammer and Nigel show. Hello. An entire hour of the show coming up after 6 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. The website recently did this. It's called a One Must Go poll on Thanksgiving foods, Hammer. I can't believe Thanksgiving's next Thursday. Wow.
I know.
So it's called a One Must Go poll, Thanksgiving foods. It could definitely instigate some family fights here. Here are the results. Which one has to go between stuffing and mashed potatoes? What do you think?
Stuffing has to go.
Stuffing, yeah. 62% said stuffing.
Because mashed potatoes is the universal mixer. You can dip the turkey in it. You can eat it on its own, put the gravy on it.
I couldn't imagine anybody voting for mashed potatoes to go. You got to have the mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving dinner. How about this? Sweet potatoes. Sweet potato casserole versus green bean casserole. Which one has to go?
Sweet potatoes got to go. Green bean casserole is on the table.
Yeah, especially with those little crunchy onion things on top that they put on top.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not a big sweet potato fan. at all. How about baked sweet potatoes versus pumpkin pie? Are you kidding me? This is a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. Pumpkin pie is a staple.
Yeah.
It's on the Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving foods.
Does it look like sweet potatoes are very high on this list of one must go of the survey? Cornbread? Oh, boy. Oh, man. One of these has got to go. Cornbread versus potato rolls.
I'm getting rid of potato rolls.
Really?
I think I am. I'm keeping the cornbread, man. I love the cornbread.
Brussels sprouts versus glazed carrots.
Brussels sprouts probably go.
I don't have many. I don't think I've had many Brussels sprouts on Thanksgiving.
No.
I don't see that a lot. 59% would drop Brussels sprouts. Okay, here, this is a big one. We'll end on this one. Apple pie versus pecan pie. My dad is a huge pecan guy.
So is mine.
He loves pecan guy. But I'm saying the pecan's got to go. I think it's gross.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I've never got into the pecan pie.
Ugh.
Apple pie I can get with, but pumpkin pie is the pie for Thanksgiving.
70% said they would give up pecan pie. We will be right back. It is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
With inflation on the rise,